Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. I'm your host, Cooley. We got 6 lovely ladies on a panel, and we got another amazing episode. Let's go around a panel. We have a special guest in the house today. We'll have him introduce himself last. But let's start over here. Name, age, and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Reagan. I'm 26, and I'm from Bucks County.
Bucks County. 26.
Yeah.
Any kids?
No.
Any baby daddies?
Nope.
Oh, wait. You don't have any kids. How can you have a baby daddy?
No, not yet.
Crazy,
no.
right?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I am a personal injury defense attorney.
Say that again.
Personal injury defense attorney.
Injury. Oh, that's the word you use. Okay.
Yeah.
So explain, like if someone gets injured, you just like, all right, you fill out your job. Isn't that like workman's comp? Or explain.
We deal with like some of people have claims like that, but we don't really, we defend like insurance companies basically, like we're the bad guys. So if you get in a car accident and sue another driver, their insurance steps in and we defend the insurance, try to make sure they spend the least amount of money possible. Yeah.
Okay. So you help the insurance out so they not spending the bag.
Yeah.
We don't like you.
I know, right?
I was thinking that. I was like, I don't like this person.
I also got, I was about to get put on a case with like, where I would be defending a bunch of like sex traffickers. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's for me. So.
Andrew stay innocent. But anyways,
he is.
No, let's go back to you. Relationship status.
Single.
Single. How long?
A few weeks.
Hot girl summer. Hot girl
We
summer?
only like stayed in a relationship for a month.
Oh, so this was like a little fling.
Yeah.
Black guy?
Yeah.
Dang. What happened? What'd he do?
He was just like in love with me.
You don't like niggas that's in love with you?
We were just talking about that.
We were just talking about that.
We said that literally.
I do, but like not right away. Like, you know, like being clingy. It's just too much. It's scary.
Mm-hmm. The Durrah was just speaking about this. We'll get into that.
Do we agree?
I because like I do these Sunday on my Instagram.
Oh wait, I heard you say like you can't be too available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I do these Sundays Q&As on my Instagram. And a lot of the questions I get was, hey, bro, you know, I'm in love with this girl. You know, I give her everything. I give her my heart. But then she left me and I give her my time. I'm like, bro, that's the problem is that girls don't like guys who are always putting them up on a pedestal, like you said, and that they're always available. So, yeah, it's...
I mean, like, you gotta, like... I feel immature saying it, but like it comes down to like a chase at the end of the day. Like it is a game in the beginning, like until you're like locked in. Like,
so you like the chase? Is what you're saying?
Depends on the guy too.
Yeah. Also,
if he has like a lot to offer, like it's gonna be different. But like
that's exactly what I said.
That's exactly what we just spoke about last podcast. That's crazy. She's the prime example of what we were speaking about.
I'm scared.
So you've been single for a week. Hot girl summer, then, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
It always was.
Moving on to you. Name, age, and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Angelica. I'm Puerto Rican, but I live in Eastern PA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you Puerto Rican. You live in Easton. I see you got the accent.
Sorry.
Mamacita. No, it's totally fine, you know? What do you do for a living?
I'm an esthetician.
Esthetician.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you like popping pimples and doing anything with faces
doing
and stuff?
eyelashes.
Extractions? Oh, eyelashes and all
extensions.
that. Okay. Oh, okay, that type.
Waxing.
Okay.
I do facials too. I pop pimples, you know.
All right. And relationship status?
You know, it's funny because I'm actually single like 2 weeks ago.
But y'all talk to one another? Like, listen.
Yeah.
I got a question here. When did you tell them about this podcast?
Yeah, we got rid of
I'm seeing something here going on.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did they know like 2 weeks ago?
Did you know 2 weeks ago you were coming on?
Okay.
No?
I knew, I think, yesterday.
Oh, okay. So she was like, All right. So you just broke up with your man 2 weeks ago. Hot girl summer for you as well?
I don't know what that means, but...
So, dang. Anyone else here Spanish? Fuego.
5%.
I mean, like, you're single, like, you're having fun.
Yeah, are you going to be having fun this summer?
Oh, yeah. Already, yeah.
Got you. And before this relationship, well, actually, you've been single for 2 weeks. How long was the relationship for?
Like 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And how old are you? did you say?
I'm 25.
25. And I'm sorry, before this month relationship with you, Reagan, what was the longest relationship you've had? Well, what was the prior relationship?
My prior relationship was like 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
Okay. And it lasted for 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Moving right along. Name, age, and where you're from.
My name is Sunday. I'm 34 and I'm from New York originally.
Sunday, 34, from New York. What part?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay.
I've been all over.
Brooklyn. No wonder why you came in here smelling like Tim's. I'm joking with you. I'm joking. She came in here smelling fine. Actually, I don't know. I got a stuffy nose. What do you do for a living?
So I am a nursing student. I work in healthcare. So I do nursing assisting in like homes. And my last job, I worked with disabled children.
Nice.
But my passion is music. So I'm a music producer when I'm not working.
Nice. Unique. I am a music producer too.
Yeah.
Like you make beats, you mean?
I sing, I write, I make music, everything.
All of it. So if you produce music, well, as far as making beats, what machines do you use? FL Studio, use an MPC or?
I use Pro Tools.
Pro Tools. Everything on Pro Tools. That's dope. Cool.
Yep. I just did one 2 days ago.
You made a beat.
Yeah,
Hip hop, R&B.
It's a new genre.
New genre.
It's a new genre.
Okay, so right off the top of your mind, you were just flowing with it, making beats.
Yeah.
I like that.
I use live instruments and then I use MIDI, so it's a new genre for sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. And you said that you're in the medical field. Are you a registered nurse?
No, I'm a nursing student.
I
am registered under the Board of Nursing, but I'm a nursing student. Yeah.
Nice. Got you. And our relationship status?
Newly single.
Newly? 2 weeks? Well, let's just take a guess on this one. Yeah. We got 2 weeks, and she says she's newly single. What do you think?
I'd say 3.5 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, yeah.
2 to 3?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a month and a half.
Oh my God. How did you know that? What the hell?
I'm good.
Yo, that's crazy.
I'm good like that.
Fuck? That's spot on.
That's spot
like
on?
literally
Hey.
spot on.
That's 1
crazy.
point for me. So wait, we got 2 weeks, a month and a half. So same question. Hot girl summer?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Girl?
Nope.
Lukewarm?
None of that. Nope. Legs are closed. Nose in the books.
Nose in the books.
Hot girl, nothing. I'm too old for that shit.
Good for you. Good for you. Same question as the other girls. Before this, how long was this relationship that you were in that just ended?
Oh, a year. We had a marriage license. We were engaged. The whole nine. We ended things 3 days before the wedding.
Oh.
Wow. Wait. Question. I'm gonna just go back to y'all too. This is gonna be a good episode. So you ended things 2 days before the wedding?
About 2 to 3 days before
2 to 3 days before the wedding.
Yeah.
And you said we.
Yes.
Be a little bit more specific. Who ended it?
I think it was mutual. I think it was mutual.
There's always someone that's leading the end. There's never like, oh, at the same time, the same moment, this is how I feel, this is how I feel. Hey, let's end it. Slap hands and it's done. It's never.
Okay, maybe I did. Maybe I did.
I expected that.
Yeah, I expected that too.
Yeah,
because you're 34, you ended the relationship. We already know he was lacking. He wasn't as masculine. Probably couldn't hold the job.
I'm actually curious to. I'm interested in this one. Like 3 days before the wedding, so there was like cold feet, worried, and then like, nah, I need to pull out of this.
Yeah, explain.
Oh, okay. He was very masculine. He earned 6 figures a year. He was a great family man, I guess I would say. And he was 50 years old, and I'm 34. So I went for older. He was mature, ready. I wasn't ready to move forward with him because, unfortunately, looks good on paper, not so much in practice.
Okay.
Physically. I think she means
No, he was very handsome. He was.
Okay.
I found him to be very attractive. I think most women do. He was a person that didn't have good self-control, and that bothered me. So I think that is a sign of being a good leader when you have self-control, and he lacked that. Whether it be impulses or addiction or substances or whatever, he didn't have the self-control that I could really admire in a man.
See
I think
future with, yeah.
Yeah, you need to have self-control. You know, even with eating, you have to have self-control, and he didn't have that. So not at the level that I needed.
Was he overweight?
No, he used to be. He was overweight in his past. He'd lost weight, but I'd seen him like just having. He was a recovered addict. He was overweight, and he had made so much progress. But for me, it wasn't good enough, and I felt like I could do better, so I left. If I feel like I can do better, then the respect isn't going to be there, and I'm going to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was. I mean, if he's, it seemed like he had a lack of temperament.
I feel that she's being respectful by not giving like a lot of details.
For
Thank
sure.
you. Yes.
And
yes.
yeah, I'm picking that up, and I don't think the reason was because you can do better. I think there was a big red flag that you saw, and you wanted to end it. And I think there is some nobility there, because you didn't go after the six figures. And you made the right decision, in terms based on certain characteristics that you saw that would not be good for the future.
I concur. Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. I think it's really messy to drag somebody, because if you consent to that relationship, you're a part of the problem. And if I sit here and drag him or anybody, that would just make me look like a fool. So I'm not about to do that. But I totally agree with what you said. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get into you. Name, age, and where you're from.
My name's Vanessa. I'm 28, and I'm from Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
28. Can you hear her good? Put the mic a little closer to you.
Can you hear me?
Closer.
Close. Okay. Is this louder? It's loud enough? Okay. Perfect. Okay, so my name's Vanessa. I'm 28, and I'm from Nazareth.
28 and from Nazareth.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you do for a living?
I'm a waitress.
Waitress. Nice. And our relationship status?
I'm in a relationship.
In a relationship. You was a little hesitant. And you came robotic for
I'm
a
back
second.
in a
I ain't ending up.
relationship.
You're back in a relationship.
Yeah.
What this nigga do?
We were just on and off for
On and off?
It was like we've been together for 4 years.
4 years.
was
Who normally breaks it off? Like, who normally takes these breaks? Is it you that initiate the breaks or him?
I think the first time it was him,
Yeah.
and then the second time it was like mutual. Like we just pretty much hated each other.
Okay. And then this last time?
And then this last time we just kind of were like mutually like we want to be together.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Codependence. I sense that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with my son. He's 5.
Okay.
So
Is that his?
Is that
he
his
the
father?
No.
Oh.
We've been together since my son was young, and
So he's like a father figure.
Yeah, and he's been there. Like, our relationship was rocky for a while, but he's all in all been there for me and him. And I think in the beginning I was a little unappreciative. I think I
Okay.
wanted more like a Prince Charming, if that makes sense, or like a fairy tale love.
Yeah. Well, at least she admits it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once we like separated for like a good month, and we didn't speak, I was just like, okay, I was.
Yeah.
I was
Interesting.
wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Second time.
Self accountability there. Let's move it right along to you. Name, age, and where you're from.
My name is Heather. I am 33 years old, and I'm originally from the Dirty Jers, but I live in Easton now.
Dirty Jers. What part of
Dirty
Jers?
Jers. Warren County. It's where they have more cows than people.
Oh, Warren County. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right over there across the bridge. Okay, not too
Yeah.
far. What do you do for a living?
I am a senior information security management system program manager.
Okay, that's a long title.
It is
there.
a very long title. I manage a lot of our corporate compliance programs that enable us to remain compliant with multiple compliance frameworks, ISO 27001, HIPAA, NIST 853, PCI, things like that.
Okay, all right. Good. Relationship status.
Single.
Single. Ready to mingle?
No.
Not ready to mingle.
No.
Okay.
I am intentionally not dating.
Intentionally not dating. How old did you say you were?
33.
33. Okay. Last relationship?
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
What ended? Who ended it?
I ended it.
You ended it. How old was he?
He was my age. So 31 at the time.
Yeah.
He was not self-disciplined, and he did not submit to himself. So what I mean by that is if he had goals, he would make excuses rather than find a way for it. I'm extremely ambitious. I'm very driven. I'm very motivated. I hold myself accountable. When I make goals, I follow through with them.
Yeah.
So I submit to myself that way. If he couldn't submit to himself, if he couldn't make his own way, then he's not fit for me.
Look at you. Okay. All right.
just
She's talking like a boss. You talking exactly what you said your title of your job was.
Yeah.
You talking like you have a little authority.
The
in what you do.
ISO 100, all that.
Right? Good. So, I mean, good for you that you know what you're talking about, meaning that you pinpointed it to exactly where he was lacking at.
He was a good guy. He was not a bad person.
Yeah.
But he would be a better fit for somebody who was maybe
Less ambitious.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So why'd you choose him?
he misrepresented himself, and I'm not in the habit of accusing people of lying right away. I like to, actions will prove who someone is. Everybody talks. When people talk, they're telling you maybe who they are, but they're also telling you who they want to be, especially in the beginning parts of a relationship. Everybody idealizes themselves. Everybody idealizes their partner. But, you spend a year, maybe a year and a half, 2 years in, and then you realize, this person's words and their actions are misaligned. And maybe they're not realizing it. Maybe they are. I did try to talk to him about it because sometimes we're not objective with ourselves. We can be incredibly biased.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So it's two to tango in a relationship. Name one thing you did wrong in a relationship.
I was very quick to kind of be a little bit too judgmental of him. I didn't like the fact that he had a non-traditional career path. I didn't feel like
Non-traditional?
Yeah.
You don't have to say exactly what it was, but what field was it in?
He did freelancing, like construction and stuff like that, work on the side.
Okay. Like a contractor?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Which I like. I like
Yeah,
that
that's
that's
pretty
skilled. I
traditional.
like
Yeah,
that
that's a
skilled.
skill.
But I didn't like the fact that it was non-traditional. I didn't like the fact that he didn't have a paycheck and got paid under the table. Stuff like
so,
that
okay,
doesn't
I see.
read security to me.
Yeah.
Stuff like that reads like, if we were to move forward, if we were to apply for a mortgage, apply for a car, that's going to be on me because he doesn't have any pay stubs.
So you didn't see that security in him. Makes
Yeah.
sense. So another man lacking. One man over here lacking the emotional stability and the multiple other things. Erratic behavior, I guess he had. These two, he pedestalized you. And that dude, was he English or Spanish?
English.
English. He was English. He didn't speak. He didn't speak her native language. Okay, moving right along. Name, age, and where you from?
My name's Emma. I'm 25 and I'm from Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Is that near Philly?
Ish.
Philly-ish.
Outside of Philly. That's what you say.
Okay, but when you go out and party, do you got to go to Philly, or do Bucks County got clubs and nightlife?
I've retired from going out in Bucks
Bro, you
County.
how old
But-
did you say you were?
25.
25.
Yes. Sorry. Ooh.
And Crystal, you could turn it up to the max. It's muffled. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Trying to think why it is a little muffled.
I just thought it was because she's faced away from it.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay.
Relationship status. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, what do you do for a living?
I waitress.
Waitress. Relationship status.
Single.
Single. How long?
Depends. I don't know. It's iffy.
No. How long you been single for?
Yeah, it's
Oh, that depends.
It
Okay.
depends. We got back together a lot and we broke up a lot.
Okay. So you keep him around.
No, I don't keep him around.
Well, you keep
But
him
if he
around
texts
for
me right
sexual
now.
access. When that's if you don't because you don't want to increase your body count. So he's the
No,
safe one. No,
We don't do that.
y'all don't do that. No. Okay, I call some Fugazee there. I call some Fugazee. You said
He's not getting any benefits.
You said it was iffy. He's getting some benefits, or you wouldn't have mentioned it like that.
No, he's not getting benefits.
So you totally shut him down from the box. He gets no box.
He gets no box. But if in a year things were good.
So if he got his stuff together, wait, he
No.
in prison? He locked
No,
up?
he's not in prison.
Trying
He's
to
not in
think.
prison. He's a town away. But we just don't get along. So we have to mature.
Somebody hit it. Anyways, special guest in the building. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Durrah. I'm a professional bodybuilder, YouTuber, and an online coach.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, man. My man came through all the way from Canada to be on the podcast. We just did a show right before this that was pretty dope. We talked about your background. We talked about a whole lot of stuff. But let's get on to the first question on the panel, and we're gonna start with Reagan. Reagan, would you rather question? Would you rather be rich and ugly? So you're rich and ugly, or be pretty and poor?
Rich and ugly, because then I'll just get work done.
I was thinking the same thing too. Like, I can pay someone to find me attractive.
Yeah, exclude the work done.
Oh.
So let's the question again. So would you rather be rich and ugly? So you rich, you got the bread, but you ugly.
Ugly for life.
For life, right? Or pretty, you fly, you a 10. Like you top notch, but you broke.
I'm doing that because I can find a way to make money with my looks.
Okay. What's that way you would find? OnlyFans. Okay, moving right along.
I messed up.
Would you rather? No, I'm joking. Question for you though. That was a good answer. So you chose.
It was a good answer. Yeah, it was a good answer. Yeah.
Same question for you. Would you rather be rich and ugly or pretty and poor?
Pretty and poor.
And why?
Because I can find a provider.
Okay.
Straightforward. Very straightforward. Okay.
And yourself?
Definitely pretty and poor.
Pretty and poor. And
Definitely. Well, because like if you're ugly and rich, all you're gonna get is a beta, spineless coward. I don't like those kind of men. Betas choose ugly women.
Beta. Okay.
Beta.
Yeah, beta. Beta. So wait, you said betas choose what?
Ugly women.
Because that's all they can achieve.
Yeah,
is what you mean.
Basically.
Okay. And you?
I'm gonna go with what she said. Pretty and poor, and then I can find someone to provide.
Pretty and poor, find someone to provide.
I
Okay.
think it's different for men and women, but we'll.
So we got two people here that said they want to be pretty and poor because they'll be able to find a way to make money through their careers or whatever. And then we have two who are looking for someone to provide for them.
Yep.
Which is, I guess, it's at least they're honest. It's fair.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah. What about you?
Given the parameters that I wouldn't be able to pay for any plastic surgery, pretty and poor.
Pretty.
Rich men choose pretty women. Broke men pick the woman they can afford.
Well said.
Yeah, well said.
That's truly, I've lived
Yeah,
long
well
enough
said.
to see that. I can pick who I want at the price tag that looks attractive to me for my lifestyle.
Well said. And yourself, Emma.
I would also be pretty and poor, just because pretty privilege.
Pretty and poor. This is a unique panel. So everyone chose pretty and poor. And basically for almost the same thing, but similar things. What's your take on that?
No, I think it makes sense. We discussed in the previous episode that men do look for looks. That's the first thing that I said. It would be a very bad idea to commit to someone just for their looks. But initially, what you look for in a woman, the first thing that attracts you or wants, or makes you want to go speak to them, is how they look. So if they're like really ugly, okay, like hideous, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess that's a recipe for loneliness. I don't think anyone wants that. Yeah. Money can't fulfill that, I think.
I agree. I definitely agree with everything you said and what you said too. That shows a lot to the audience that's watching this, right? It shows a lot. Every woman women know that their main agency is their beauty, right? So just think about that, fellas. When you enter a relationship, they're looking for a provider. They don't. The riches wasn't their first priority, if you think about it, because they would have chose ugly and rich, but they didn't choose ugly and rich. So they'll rather be pretty, but look for a guy or find other ways to provide avenues of provisioning. So makes sense. No hate on that. To the viewers, take that mental note, because we're going to get into more conversations where that's going to come into play. Any questions, ladies? I know some of y'all had questions. I don't want to just be asking all the questions, but listen, who has questions on the panel? No question?
I actually do.
You got one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a question for you guys specifically.
Sure.
How rich would an ugly woman have to be for you to consider dating her?
You
Like,
first.
is there a price tag for that?
Shit. let me ask you. Would she be okay? What
If
are
you
the
were smashing
terms?
other chicks.
Yeah. Would she be
What's the
okay with me
terms?
getting with other chicks?
Oh, geez, I didn't even think about the whole polyamory aspect. No, she would want fidelity. She would be like the masculine in that relationship. So she would expect those masculine things.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know what that means. I don't think so.
Well, because she would want, you know, when you're a masculine man, you don't want your woman with everyone else because that like knocks your status down, you know? That makes you look like you're picking up something off the dollar
Well, it's
tree.
for other reasons too. It's because when a woman is out with other men, she has to submit to other men.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to submit to any woman at all. They submit to me. So there's multiple reasons besides that. The status is a huge part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the other reasons is that one is truly unsanitary,
Mm-hmm.
like truly unsanitary. And then the other one is like, you know, it's a dominating act. It's not saying that it's holy and righteous, but it's just not as
Yeah, it's not the
gross.
same. And also, men work or strive to be successful. A main reason for that is to acquire a beautiful woman. Like we work because like I want a beautiful woman and I want to start a family with that woman. So if I'm already with an ugly chick, it's like game over before I start to play the game. That's the point of that.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off of her question?
Go ahead.
So she said, she used the word ugly, but what if the woman was really beautiful? in
On the
her
inside?
Wait, no.
Okay.
She's really beautiful in her prime. Let's say she was a knockout Miss America beauty queen. Just pick your celebrity, but she's old now and no longer, you know, an eye catcher. Let's say she's 60 now, like Madonna, millionaire, super rich. She was smoking hot when she was young.
Yeah.
Would you make an exception for a woman that was beautiful but no longer is because of her age?
Nah, those girls in high school that I went to high school with was bad.
Okay.
And I'm 34 and they're 34 now. They're washed. They have no chance at all. Back then you used to want me. Now I'm hot. They all want me. No, you don't get no chances. So yeah, I mean, like for a man, that could be the case because it's like, oh, he was the big dog back then, and that status kind of maintained, even though maybe he fell off a little bit, but it was still like, oh, he was that guy. So for a man, a woman would still find that attractive in maybe some realm. But for a man, we look at how you are now.
Oh, I see.
I don't care who she was in school or whatever.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, at all. If anything,
Okay.
I'd get even more annoyed if she was prettier back then.
Oh, I see.
It's like, why am I getting? No, I want the previous version before
Right.
the updates, like
Right.
the original.
Right.
The original, yeah.
That's
That's
fair.
facts. Yeah. Why I gotta get you now? The mother niggas had you when you was bad, but now I got you when you washed up.
Right.
It's like, what's the point?
Okay.
Good question though. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah.
So if you guys get married to a pretty girl, the woman of your dreams, and you grow old with her, and you know she gets old and not the way she used to be, like, would you guys like dump her because of that reason?
Durrah.
No, because then probably I'm getting older too, right? But I mean, I take care of myself and I try and stay fit. I stay fit, not try. So I expect the same from my partner, that she does the very best to maintain what she has. And if financially she's unable to, I will gladly support that. So I will pay your Botox, your fillers, whatever you got to do to stay pretty, but she has to make the effort to stick to a diet, you know, because that's also a big contributing factor. What you eat. So if she's eating all kinds of shit food and, you know, growing, you know, getting larger with age, I don't want that. That's my take.
Ask the question again so I could answer concisely.
So if you get married to the woman of your dreams,
Yep.
and
Married was
you
a part, okay.
go get older with her,
Yeah.
and she
falls
she
off.
don't look,
Yeah.
So what would you do?
I look at marriage until death do us part, until sick or for poor, all of that stuff. So, like he said,
She's my investment, so I'm going to
she's the
continue
investment,
investing
so
in her.
You got to continue to invest. Even like, your woman gets pregnant. You already know she's going to put on a couple extra pounds, right? So during that time, after that time, the postpartum weight that they put on, we married her knowing that she was going to put on some extra pounds. You know what I mean? So it's all about standing with your woman, investing in her more, and helping her become a better, her best self.
She'll be my number one client. Get on that diet. That's it. Getting you back in shape.
Can I respond to what y'all said?
Sure.
Both of y'all are capping right now. I don't believe it for a second. No way. When a woman gets old, the man divorces and finds a young, hot chick. And the reason why I maintain that belief is because both of y'all are high value, right? There are girls who are like groupies as a career and they follow successful men, plump breasts, flat stomach, no kids, and they chase men with money. They will literally throw their panties at you. So for you to say, yeah, I'm going to stick with my 60-year-old wife, I don't believe that. I totally think you're going to go for the young, hot model every time.
Okay.
Facts.
So there's two things that are different here. Are you saying that I am going to divorce my wife for a younger woman, or if she gets, really out of shape, nothing to be done, lost case, whatever it is, but we have a great relationship, are you then asking now, are men going to do something on the side? Because there's a big difference between leaving or divorcing my wife of like 30 years or 40 years and just leaving her like that, or still respecting her, still giving her everything that she wants, all the support, all the love, all the attention, and then sliding one on the side every now and then. So which one of these? Because they're different.
Which one is the cap?
They're very
Totally.
different.
I think we're capping.
I'm saying I think it would be like a prenup and then divorce. That's what I think.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't think we're. It's
That's what I think. Like totally leave, because when a woman's skin is sagging and her vagina's dry, I don't believe neither of y'all are going to stay. That's bullshit.
Personally,
Menopause, hot
genuinely,
flashes. No.
I wouldn't. I love the company, and usually the person I'm with becomes my best friend. But I'm not saying that in 30 years that's gonna be it. Like there might be some things, because like also men who are athletic, who continue to work. Women don't usually have that much of the motivation and drive. So let's say there is a discrepancy in the physical attributes. Yeah, maybe some men would, slide something every now and then.
Okay.
Under the condition, and even like I tell my friends that never, if you have a good woman, don't disrespect her. So if you do something on the side, I always tell my friends, if they're married, they have kids with their woman, and they're always like, bro, the sex is not good, blah blah. I'm like, whatever you do, if she's good to you, if she has maintained your home well, don't disrespect her. Go do what you have to do, but whoever you're doing it with will know that she will never be number one. That's my take.
Okay.
My take on this, generally speaking, men don't divorce women. 50% of marriages end in divorce, and 80% of those divorces are initiated by women. So generally, if we're just speaking, even if a woman gets older and she's washed up, the nigga really ain't gonna leave her. He just gonna smash some other poon on the side. In that case, obviously, I would still stick with my woman, though. I'm not going to divorce my woman. Who's to say I'm not going to smash some other tail on the side? That's a different story, but I'm not divorcing her. Till death do us part, and I believe in that. And actually, if I'm older, too, I'm not even going to be caring about it.
Exactly.
I'm 60. I'm not going to be caring about no other porn. I'm
I'm
tired. I worked all of these years, having multiple businesses, doing things. I'm going to be wanting to just vacation with her old saggy butt. So that's pretty much how it would go. Because not only that, men, we lose testosterone, and once we hit the age of 30, it starts decreasing. So when we 60, if we're not on testosterone replacement, yeah, we can still bust nuts and all of that, but we ain't gonna have that drive like when we was younger.
See, I have that problem. testosterone replacement for life, so I'm always
yeah. You guys see.
Yeah.
Besides my man's over here, he gonna want them young tenderonis forever.
it's usually more difficult for as men age, their testosterone does go down. So it's like they're not really, also like divorce isn't easy. Like the way you said divorce, we're gonna grow older and get divorced, it's very difficult, and most men don't have prenups when they marry at a young age.
But sometimes think about it this way, and this is just my last statement on this.
Sure.
The woman can entice you to divorce. They could want to be number one. So if you're married to a 60-year-old and you're also 60, or let's say you're 65 and you're wealthy and whatnot, or just whatever, comfortable, and you're with a 30-year-old woman and she's smoking hot, she could be the one to put it in your ear. It doesn't have to come from the male, right?
I mean, that does happen.
They want the one.
That does happen, but it's. I mean, for most men, it's highly unlikely that a man at 65 would leave someone he's with for like 20, 30 years. Very highly unlikely. We love the company, and men love familiarity.
Yes.
Like, I love my familiar face and place and soul that knows me very well, knows that I don't like pickles on my Big Mac.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to be teaching that all over again. So whoever is going to be on the side is going to be just on the side.
Yeah. Good question, though.
Yeah.
I like these. Yeah. Keep them coming. Anyone else? No? Okay. I got a question. Let's start with Emma. If women want honesty, why do they complain when men only want sex?
All right. Took a minute. Okay.
Did it register? I'll say it again. If women want honesty, you want honesty, right?
Sure.
So why do you complain when a dude only wants sex?
I don't complain because any guy that I've been with doesn't just want sex.
Oh, well, fooled you. I would say that's the first thing most men want. Okay, but you said that you want honesty, but the men that you've been with, you don't think that they only want sex.
That hasn't been a complaint in my life.
Okay, so you never had to complain about that. Fair enough.
Wait, what? I don't. What's the complaint?
She says she doesn't have a complaint. The complaint is, and it's in general too, ladies. You don't have to put it on yourself. These questions are all in general. You can answer it personally, or you can answer it as women as a whole. So we know that women as a whole want honesty, right? So, and then we also know women do disqualify men when they find out that he only wants sex.
Is that true?
So
is that true? Do you all disqualify men when you find out that they're only into sex?
It depends what you want.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, depending the woman.
If you can't build further, that's all you want.
Let's go in order. So you said it depends on what?
It depends on what you want also. Like if you just want to have sex with someone, then it wouldn't be a complaint, you know? But if you want to be in a relationship with someone, then I guess you would cut them off if that's what they want.
Okay, we'll go around, see what you got to say. And yourself, if women want honesty, why do they complain when men only want sex?
So I have probably a unique viewpoint.
Sure.
I don't care so much if men are honest, but if you're a bad liar, that's just embarrassing and annoying.
Annoying.
Okay.
It's irritating to me.
Honest, but a bad liar.
Like, be a good liar at least. Make it fun.
You're 33, you said?
33.
33.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're out, you're at Target, you're strolling your cart. Actually, you got one of that handhelds. You don't got a cart.
Have you
got a
seen me
handheld
at Target?
because
Where have you been?
You just picking up a few things. You don't need much. So you down the aisle, you picking up some stuff, and a man approaches you. He's a fairly attractive man. He's as honest as ever. He's like, he asks you your name. Let's role play it.
Okay.
Hey, you're very beautiful. I just caught you with my peripheral vision. What's your name?
My name's Heather. What's yours?
Heather. I'm David.
Oh, nice to meet you, David.
Do you normally come to this Target or what?
It depends. It depends on what I'm looking for. If I see something I like.
Okay. Well, I see you in here. You don't have any kids. Are you single?
Yeah, I'm single.
You are single.
Are you single?
Well, I'm not single. I'm in a relationship.
Oh.
But truth be told, I would love to take you out, maybe this Saturday if you're available. And no movies, no dinner, but I want you to come back to my place and I want to wax that tail.
No,
That's
just
honesty.
for that.
But think about it, right? That's what most men think. If they got a woman or if they don't got a woman, that's what they want to say. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the most part, they want to be that direct and that honest. But we know it's not like that. We got to kind of make you feel the vibes, make you laugh in between, tell a joke or two. So, you get what I'm saying? Like, you really don't want honesty.
I like the game.
You like the game.
I like the game.
Okay. Fair enough. Moving right along. What about you? If women want honesty, why do they complain when men want sex?
Can I disagree with the question?
Like,
I don't think that I don't think we truly want full honesty.
Agreed.
I think we say that we do. We're like, just be honest with us. Just be honest with us. But then if your man's like, you got to drop 30 pounds, and that's honesty, we don't want to hear it. I feel like we think that we want. I feel like there should be trust and loyalty. I feel like there should be, like, honesty to a certain extent. But I feel like women, like, we think that we want full honesty, but we don't.
That's fair.
So
That's fair enough.
Is it safe to say that women don't know what they want?
Yeah.
Facts.
Do you all agree on that? Do most of you not know what you want?
I disagree with that. Yeah. I know what I want, but I think that women sometimes conflate honesty with say what I think in a man's voice, and there's a big difference, I think, between those two things.
What about you? You were nodding your head.
Like, and agree.
Do you agree that women don't know what they want,
Put the mic a little closer to you?
I think it just depends, but I mean, as far as like the honesty thing, like I would want to be told like if I needed to lose weight, and I would want to be like I would tell him like if there's something bothering me about him, like if he smells or something, like I would tell him, like.
Okay.
Like you're supposed to be best friends.
So
like
a guy could be honest with you. And me and you in a relationship, and you getting a little fat. I could be like, "Baby girl, you getting fat. You need to lose weight."
Yeah,
that
I would be like, that's
startle
fucked,
your emotions.
I'd be like, bring me to the gym then, because I wouldn't want you to like get unattracted to me and then go cheat on me. I'd rather you just tell me.
I'm like that.
So
I'd rather just
you can handle a direct conversation.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's good.
I'm a lawyer. Like I do this shit all day. Like it's just only factual.
You're unique then. That's not all. Right along to yourself. Oh no, you answered it. So moving right. Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my boyfriend. I think that's like one of you said about like comfortability.
Yeah.
I think that's
I said familiarity.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And with that being said, like the other day I said to him, I was like, I gained 30 pounds. I need to lose weight. Instead of being like, oh no, you're beautiful. Like he was like, all right, well this is like he didn't lie to me, you know. So it was like 2 years ago. If he would have said that, I probably would have been triggered.
Okay.
I'd been like, oh, well, he doesn't love me because, he can't accept me for who I am. But now it's like, I don't know. I don't know what, like, my point was, but I was just saying, like, how I think there should be honesty, but I think it's women. I think the reason that men lie is because
women can't handle the truth.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, she just said something else.
Right.
She just said no. She would want a man who's very honest with her. But I think honest to what degree?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always got to be. I mean, like I would get my feelings hurt, but like at the end of the day, like if you're thinking, like me and my ex, like when we broke up, we're like we told each other shit we were hiding like from each other during the relationship. I'm like, no, if you knew something, tell me like right now, like, and like. So, like, I don't like to, like, even if you thought something about me, like, I want to know, like, so that, like, you can fix it or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Moving right along to yourself. So, if women want honesty, why do they complain when men only want sex? What do you think about that?
I like being told the truth. I think the confusion is, like, if we don't want to have sex with you, it's not because we didn't like your directness. We're just not attracted to you. I think that's what it comes down to. For me personally, just speaking for myself, if somebody I met as a single woman only wanted sex, it's not that I don't appreciate the honesty, it's that I don't want you in that way. Like I've had celebrities try and sleep with me because they confused me with the groupies I was around, and I rejected them because they were not attractive. If I'm sexually attracted to you, that honesty will be received and appreciated. That's how I feel. So, like, I think that the lines are blurred. It's like, because if a woman rejects you, it's because she doesn't want to fuck you, period. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're attractive, then you'll get that reciprocation. I feel like maybe she will sleep with you if she's single, and you'll get that. That's how I see it. Like for me, like the person I'm talking about, he just looked like really fat. You know, he looked good when he was young, but he looked really fat, and he was like an old celebrity. And I was like, dude, I don't want to sleep with you. No. And that was the reason why, because he looked gross.
Yeah.
So
I have an interesting question.
You want to finish this one and then we hit your...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's interesting with what you said. I had a point, but we'll move it on. I'll bring it full circle. What about you? If women want honesty, why do they complain when men only want sex?
I think, if I want to, can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So if women want an honest man, why do they complain when a man only wants to smash?
Well, it depends. Woman, the man, like if a woman only wants to have fun, and if a man is hot and he has says like, hey, like let's go have sex, so she can be like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you like, it's true that men have to play it cool, like, hey, like what's up, like trying to be your friend, like trying to like tell you little cute things so you can like kind of fall in love.
Yeah.
So in that case, I will be like waiting, because like you can like feel it. Like if he wants a serious relationship, how he invests in you and the dates he invites you, and if he's only inviting you to his house in the night, it's like
pick up the cues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I don't think we want, depending the woman and depending the man. Like,
depending on a woman, depending on a man.
I don't want a man. If a man comes to me like, hey, I want to have sex with you, I don't care if he's hot. I'm gonna say like, sorry, like I'm not.
I was gonna say women are slaves to their emotions. So like you were saying, yeah, the guy's value. Well, you too. Okay. And she was saying too, both of you were saying, if the guy's hot enough or his value is high enough, you know, that determines how honest he could be and how susceptible you would be to his honestness. Because if he's hot and his value is high enough, yeah, you'll take more honest comments. But if he's ugly and not really that good looking or doesn't really have his life together, he got to lie to try to get some position to slide in between them draws. But I truly believe it's all cap is because women are slaves to their emotions. I agree with what you said. Women truly don't know what they truly want is because they're slaves to their emotions. A guy can be totally hot, your type, but if he says the wrong thing, disqualified. A guy could be totally your type, but if he smells off, disqualified. If it's the wrong time and you're a little antsy, a little anxious because of something at work or something twisted your mood and just got you off, you're not even really going to give him the time or chance. So and that's because you're slaves to your emotions. So truly, I think that since you're slaves to your emotions, you don't know what you want, and it doesn't even matter if the man is honest or dishonest. It all depends on how you truly feel because you're slaves to your emotions. So that's what I truly think. But what do you think?
I think that for me, like, I don't care if he's honest. I would rather know, but that's not just what I want. So like, it just doesn't match for me. I don't care if you're honest about it or not, but like, I'm not just trying to like fuck. So like, it's like,
yeah,
I feel like I'm 26. It's like a little bit of a waste of time. Like I already did that shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, if a guy said that to me, like, oh, like appreciate it. Like, but it's just like not necessary. If there's nothing going for you, just told me that's it.
So that's another question.
You just told me that's it. So
let's
like,
go around the panel with this one. Keep your question in mind because you just said something that's hot. It's a good question. I'm gonna answer. You said something, but I'm gonna ask a question from it. And thank you for answering that question. You kind of already answered it before. That's why I kind of gave that ending spill. But you said that if the guy, wait, what were you saying there at the end? You were saying
doesn't want
like
to waste
if he
time.
just told me like straight up, that's all it is. Like you literally just you showed your cards. Like I know what you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't match with what I want. So like probably not gonna waste my time like with a guy who just told me like that's what he wants.
So that's the thing. So like, how can I word this in a question then? Oh, Celine, could you twist that big light over here? since you tall. Yeah. Should have been. Yeah, that's perfect. Good look, bro. How can I word this? And we're gonna start here. So you've had one night stands. Well, you said something. You said that you did things in the past and you slept with guys, fairly fast in the past, right? Let's say.
Yeah, like in college. Like
in college,
been there,
a
done
week
that,
or something like that. You've done those things in the past.
Yeah.
So the future guy, some guys you don't let wait. They just can get the box, right? But then the future guy, the guy that you want, you'll make him wait sometimes, right? Because you said that you've been there, you've done that before in the past.
No, I said that if he showed his cards and was like, this is what I want, that's all I want, I'm not going to like waste my time. But like, I don't care necessarily about waiting. If the vibe's right, it's right. Like, it's not.
The vibes is right, it's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, it's just, but like, if you tell me like, that's all I want, like, it doesn't match what I want. Like, I want to build together. So it's like, I probably just wouldn't like waste my time, like, or like waste getting attached. Like, I'd rather.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how is it a fair deal if you had sex, like girls that have one night stands and then you meet a dude that's very attractive, but you still make that guy wait? Like, and that guy value could even be higher than that other guy. Like, how is that a fair deal to that guy that you're currently talking to? He has to wait, but those niggas in the past got the box off of, Henny and Red Bull. Who knows?
But yeah, you said they don't have to wait. It just depends if the vibe is good.
Yeah, like it always
Yeah.
depends. But like, that was also a different time in your life. Like in college, that's different. Like, I don't like act the way I used to in college. You know what I mean? Like, you're growing up then. Like now I'm 26. Like, so it's like, I've learned my lesson. If you're still in that stage, there's no problem with that, but it just doesn't align with what stage I'm in.
Okay.
I'll word a question like that later, but that's a good one.
Okay.
Durrah, you got something?
Yeah, so this is a question that I see often on these kind of podcasts, and I'm very curious to know your answer. What would you rather have? A man with an average salary, okay, but will be very loyal, or someone who is wealthy, rich, you go on vacations all the time, buys you whatever you want, whatever you need, nice house, restaurants, all that kind of thing. But he, lets one slip through the door every now and then.
I mean, if I'm number one living in the house, like.
So let's go around. You want to go around the panel?
Yeah. We'll start with her. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So average salary, ladies, is 35,000.
No. Let's bring it up a little bit.
Bring it up a little bit.
Yeah. Let's put like close to, let's say, 80K a year, but very loyal.
Okay.
Or someone who makes 300, 400, 500K, lets one slip every now and then.
Yeah, just because I know I'll be more attracted to him. Like, I make more money than that, so like I need to be with somebody who's more like dominant than me in a way. Like, if I make more of the money, it's like.
And you wouldn't have a problem with that one every now and then.
I wouldn't love it at all. I would definitely have a problem with it, but I would just like, if I'm getting my whole life paid for and I'm living in this nice ass house, I'm just gonna.
It's not you're having your whole life paid for.
Well, you said he would buy me whatever I want.
Yeah, he would. Yeah,
he'll take care of you.
He'll take care of you.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. What about you?
I think I will stay with the loyal one.
Really? Loyal
Yeah.
one makes about 80K a year.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not like. I like my vacations. I'm fine with just going once or maybe twice a year on vacation, not like all the time. Like, if he can maintain my kids, maintain me with what he earns, and be loyal, like, that's fine. I don't need like.
That's a decent answer.
enough,
All right.
fair
Okay.
enough.
Fair enough. And you?
I would choose loyal. I would have to. I mean, I've had opportunities and I chose not to because at the end of the day, there would be a conflict. I think they expect a certain type of woman and I'm not that. A rich man needs a certain type of woman. And I know my character and personality wouldn't match. So I would be more aligned with someone who's loyal.
Fair answer. And you?
Definitely loyalty.
Really?
Yeah.
80K.
60K.
Calling it
60K.
Fugazee.
If he's loyal, a leader, if he loves the Lord, if he takes care of me, like our children.
Versus someone who like,
help Exactly.
Huge house, nannies. You won't have to fucking cook all the time.
I want to cook all the I want that role. Like,
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
Okay.
Yourself?
Money.
I didn't expect that.
My girl.
Money.
I didn't expect that.
Have you ever been to Turks and Caicos?
I-
have. It's very hard to be sad there.
Okay, she knows what
Okay,
she wants, I think.
very direct.
Don't
one
be
of the
sloppy about it. I don't want to see anybody in my bed. Someone's in my
Yes.
bed. I'm lighting the house on fire.
Fact.
Straight up. But if you can keep it on the side and you can keep it together and I get what I want and my
be
children
sloppy
are
about it.
provided for, that's really key for me. Like, yeah, maintain me. But if my kids never have to worry about stuff,
Yeah.
I don't need to worry. Buy me a second house. I'll go vacation there.
Yeah, that was no Fugazi
Pure
on that
no,
one.
pure no Fugazi.
Pure no Fugazi.
And you?
I'm going loyalty every time. Like, I would go cuckoo bananas if someone cheated on me.
Okay.
They still believe in fairy tales and Disney. That's why.
I also have had 2 boyfriends who I've dated when they didn't have jobs, so I don't really care about that stuff.
I think the
Doesn't care about
problem is, that most women, like, the loyalty obviously does exist, you know?
Yeah.
But most of the time, and there is like maybe 0.001% of a guy who's wealthy, good looking, who doesn't cheat. But very, very like 0.001%. But
For
the
sure.
majority is the men who don't, like, you know, have something on the side or, you know, do a mistake here or there. It's because they can't. It's because they're out of shape. They're not attractive. They don't know how to speak to women. So it's kind of weird to see, like, what I'm curious to know, what really are you expecting when you go for someone with certain characteristics that would make him attracted to you in the first place. And I think this is where the contradiction is. This is where the clash is.
That is
I
where
want
the
a
clash.
guy who has all the attributes that makes him, I'm going to say, 98% loyal. Not 100%, 98% loyal. You want all the characteristics that make a man 98% loyal, but you want that 100%, which doesn't exist.
I'm sorry, you said loyal as in like not cheating? I misunderstood the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like committed to the relationship. I
Well,
didn't know you were
committed
talking
to the
about cheating.
relationship, that's
I
true.
don't give a shit about cheating. I didn't understand the question.
Well,
Wait, no, what do you mean? You don't give, so you
chose.
No.
She chose the guy that's making
misunderstood.
$80K.
yeah,
and that's loyal.
80K. You chose the man
I
that's
didn't
making
know
80K.
what that meant. I didn't know how you were the context of loyal. I thought you meant like committed to the relationship. I don't care about cheating. Never have.
Okay, so he could cheat.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. As long as she's good looking, I don't care.
Yeah.
She better be hot.
What?
So wait, are you still? So then, would you choose the
I've
rich
got a
guy
little
then?
cuckold in me. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Well, a
Oh,
woman
we have a
can't-
fetish. We have a fetish
A
here.
woman can't be cuckold.
I know. Do you have a buzzer
a
for
little
that?
bi.
Like a weird,
Uh,
you know?
I don't got nothing for that. That's a little weird,
Yeah.
though, but it ain't actually weird. A woman can't be a
So,
cuck
like,
of
you
being
like
no good
watching?
cuck.
It's a turn on, sure. I mean, I don't look at it like cheating. It's like, first of all, when you're in a long-term committed and you have to have sex every damn day and do all this shit, let the girl do it. That's less work for me.
Are you bisexual?
Um,
You kiss the girl. You lick the little clitoris before.
when I was young, I've had relationships with women. Yeah,
You
not
lick the little
anymore. That was a long time
T-Roy,
ago.
you lick a little clit. You like that?
That was 15 years ago. So
Okay,
I
you
feel like that
did it
was
before, so
I've
that means
retired.
that-
I've retired that.
Okay.
For me, like, I'm a very monogamous person. I only go for men. I don't go for women. But if he wants a woman, I'm into it.
So are you changing your answer? Would you choose the guy that makes $400,000 to
I don't-
$500,000 a year then?
No, I don't change my answer. I still say 80,000 because the stuff that I'm trying to do, he would be more supportive of what I'm trying to do with my career versus someone who's wealthy. They want a woman to be at their beck and call, up under them all the time. You know, you have to
Okay,
prioritize.
you're looking at
the
other
man.
things.
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't know what
got
you
it.
meant when you said loyal. Like if he prioritizes our relationship and he's with other women, I can care less. I don't care as long as she looks good. That's cool.
Well,
with me.
I noticed there's always an emphasis at the end of the sentence, as long as she looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
She likes women.
Yeah.
No, because if she looks a mess, I'm gonna be offended. I'm gonna be like, wait a minute.
Why are you going for someone? Where are you
Who's
going?
less?
Okay.
She needs to be hotter.
Yep.
Period.
As hot or hotter. As hot or hotter.
She needs to be hotter.
Yeah.
Like, then what's the point? You know.
Look, we have how many? 1, 2, 3. So it's even 50%. 50% don't care about a man cheating as long as they're provided for well and respected.
I do care.
Yeah.
I'm willing to.
It's similar to her answer. Don't make it sloppy. Don't embarrass me.
like,
Don't bring her home.
I don't want anyone to know, or probably not even me know.
Okay.
Because I'll flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
See, I don't care if I know.
See, I will like.
Really? You wouldn't care if you know?
No. I genuinely, I don't have the jealousy gene, to be honest. Like, I really just don't. I agree with you, though. If she's ugly, I'm divorcing you. That's embarrassing.
I'd rather her be
You can't
ugly.
get anything better than
Like,
that
if you
dog-faced
fuck
bitch.
anyone
Absolutely
hot.
not.
So status is very
That's
important
horrible.
to women. Status is important to women.
Like, especially if I was married to somebody with children, it would take a lot for me to leave that relationship. Like, you'd have to be pretty awful for me to bounce.
So that actually alludes to another question I had scheduled for this. So going with Emma, right? Are women more impressed with what men are willing to do or unwilling to do to get sex? Say it
I
again.
think you give me the hard questions.
Yep. So I'll say it again. Think about it, right? Are women more impressed with what men are willing to do or unwilling to do to get sex?
So I'll give you an example. A guy comes to you, you want to get with him, and you tell him, listen, to get with me, you have to like break a certain value you have. And the guy says, no, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Versus a guy who would be like, I'd do anything to be with you. Who is more impressive? I think I broke it down pretty
Or
simple.
another way could be a dude he slides in your inbox, he's sending multiple messages, he's heart and everything, he's commenting on it, like he wants you, he's attractive, they're both attractive, but he's coming at you, he's pressing you. But then the other guy, he's not pressing.
No, I think that's a different question. That's a different question.
Well, one goes for it's both. Yours was during a relationship, and mine was kind of the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah, so either way.
I feel like I would want him to like give me the world.
Okay, so you're thinking more of his question. So you are impressed with what the man is willing to do to get sex.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. What about yourself?
Unwilling. I don't like weak men. Sorry, but I don't. If you're willing to break all your morals and values and you run after me like a shadow, like a puppy dog, I have no interest in that. That is the least sexy thing a man could ever do, ever. I can't deal with that level of immaturity and clingy and stuff like that. Like, that's just, no,
Yeah,
I'm good.
Emma, what you got?
Okay. Well, what if they wanted to hook up and I was like, but you have to cut off all your other girls if you want to be with me?
That's a count.
Yeah, that's a counter.
Because I would want that. I would want them to follow that.
Okay, so you would want the man to follow that specific
Well, that's
question,
kind of
or is it like anything? Like, say if it's just something that I get what you're saying. You're pretty much saying
there's
that you
specific
have
things.
you have a stipulation and you want him to adhere to your stipulation. So that means that guy would be willing to do that for you.
Yeah, and if he
don't
wasn't
want-
willing to do that, then
Got
I'm
it.
like, then I don't want anything to
I
do
got
with
one.
it.
I got one. You have a guy, you guys like each other, you meet his sister, you don't like his sister.
He
Okay.
can still like his own sister.
No, hold on. So what would you like more? A guy where you'd be like, listen, I don't want your sister hanging out in our place anymore. Okay, you asked that from the guy. I don't want your sister here.
Mm-hmm.
You can go see her whatever in your free time, but I don't want her in, our space. And he's very close to his sister. Would you respect a guy more who says, no, I'm sorry, she's going to come often and that's how it's going to be? Or a guy would be like, you know what, babe? Anything for you, I won't bring her in our space anymore.
No, because that's his family, so I feel like he should have.
Yeah, she's still looking at the specifics of it though.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Let's move it right along to yourself. What's the question? Let me bring it up here. Are you, and it's general too. It doesn't have to be to you. It could be from women that you see, women that you encounter, your friends, your family. But here it is.
Okay.
Are women more impressed with what men are willing to do or unwilling to do to get sex?
I would probably say unwilling.
Got it. And why?
Kind of like what she said. Like, we want men that have standards
Mm-hmm.
and aren't easily accessible.
Okay, facts. What about yourself?
I agree with what she said. Unwilling, because
Unwilling.
I think that would be like a simp for a man to just be like drooling over you. I mean, that's a turnoff. So I would be dry anyway, so it wouldn't work. So you have to be an alpha. Yeah.
Okay, and yourself?
I don't know, but I think they have a point.
Okay,
Like,
let's try
we
to
like-
explain the question in another way to you. So, say if a guy wants sex, Woodley.
She said it right. Do you want to simp somebody who's like, you could call right now and say, I'll do whatever you want? Or do you want like a nonchalant man that's like, like that just stands on what they stand on and don't feel like.
Yeah, you heard
Yeah,
him?
that's sexy.
Okay, the guy, so you want the guy that's unwilling to do whatever you want for sex.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. What about yourself, Reagan?
I'm like stuck because normally I would say unwilling because I don't like guys that just, like I said already, like if you're just showing me all you care about is that, then I'm not gonna be like emotionally into it. But
Yeah.
I also do want a guy who like, you can just
That's gonna chase you a little bit.
that you could also like make them do whatever based on like your like sexuality type of thing. Like you want your guy to be so attracted to you that you could basically do like.
Do you think
They'll
that
say
you
yeah.
would respect that man though? Who would you respect more?
Oh,
meaning
the
that you have
unwilling one.
control over him.
No.
Yeah, so you would respect the unwilling one.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be more for a long-term mating choice. The other one, short-term mating choice. Yeah, I do whatever I say goes. Cool for one night. Makes sense. Anything, Durrah?
No, I'm good.
No? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Any questions, ladies, before I get into the next one?
Actually, yeah, I want to turn that
What you
back
got?
around on the guys.
Sure.
Would you respect a woman more for what she's unwilling to do or for what she's willing to do? Like, do you find it more attractive when a woman's like, anything you want, I'll follow you around like a puppy? Or do you find it more attractive when a woman's like, no, you gotta kind of show me what you have. You have to peacock a little bit.
It depends what it is she's willing to do. So I like to test women sometimes in these situations. I'd like to see how strong are their moral values are.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you give me an example of what that would look like? Like, how would you implement that in real life without it coming across like overly manipulative? Because honestly, if you come across overly manipulative, anyone's gonna jump.
Yeah, we're going out, for example. It's something on top of my mind. Let's say if we're going out, she wears a normal dress, and I'll be, baby, why don't you wear that dress? Where it's like so revealing, like everything's hanging out. And if she, depending on her answer, that's when I make the judgment. If she's like, if she says like, no, I like this dress, I'd be like, yeah, but you'd get more attention in that, a lot of you'll get a lot of looks and stuff. If she kind of goes like, yeah, okay, I'll do it, then in my head I'm like, it's like,
It's fail.
yeah.
She didn't have her own moral standards. She let you sway her morals.
She can't. There are certain morals that cannot be broken.
Yeah.
For anyone.
Right, right.
But then there are other things where it's like, the whole you having guy friends, that's not going to work with me. If it's also like, no, I'm sorry, this is how it's going to be. Also, okay, and I'm very easy like that. There's no, okay, you do you, I'll do me.
See, for me, my answer would vary depending on the level of relationship. If it's just a guy I'm boyfriend, girlfriend with, I'm wearing what I want to wear. But if it's a husband and my husband says, I want you to wear this, I'm putting that on.
The example I gave is just an example.
Yeah.
I mean, there are obviously a lot more extreme examples.
Well, question for you: how would you get the husband if you don't enact on what he wants? So if you don't put on what he wants,
you bend in certain ways. So there's some things where there's hard and fast morals, and then there's people who have certain morals that are flexible, situationally and personally dependent. You might kick it with somebody in one way, but not kick it with a different person in that way, because your relationship with that person is different than your relationship with the other person.
So question for you: if you want a job and you apply at a job, and these jobs have policies and standards, when you go into the interview, you don't say, hey, well, I don't agree to this policy. I'm not doing this here. Yeah. But all of these other things I could do. I could show up on time. But these, I'm not going to adhere to that. You need 50 calls a day? I can't do 50. I could give you 25. So the reality of it, you wouldn't get that job. And men hold the key to relationships, right? So since the man holds the key to relationships, it's up to the woman to acquiesce their behaviors to get the relationship. Just like a man wants sex, and we all know that women can't handle the truth, what we spoke about before. So if we tell the truth, we won't get sex, right? Depending on the level of his value, he could be a little bit more truthful. But the reality, men know we have to kind of acquiesce to what the woman wants so we can, in the beginning stages, so we could get sex or get the date. You get what I'm saying? Because you hold the key to sex. But what I'm saying is men hold the key to marriage and commitment. So if you want that, wouldn't it behoove you to get more on the guys program so you can get that commitment?
It depends, because in the example he gave,
Yeah, and the example I gave, I think the example I gave was very like a manipulative kind of tactic.
Yeah.
Where it's like, let's see just how far or how strong her morals really are.
Yeah.
So there are some communities where it's like guys share their wives, you know. So it's like if
Like swingers.
yeah, swingers, exactly. So it's like if you, let's say
Beta males.
yeah, if a guy offers that to his wife and she says sure, that's it. Like that's a no-go.
Yeah, well, not only that though, it doesn't even, it's not the morals that it could be, the woman is lacking morals, but she doesn't really respect her man. You know what I mean?
Right.
A woman that truly loves, admires, and respects her man, every other guy's invisible. If he even says something that crazy, like, oh yeah, why don't you have sex with Kenny tonight? She's gonna be like, ew, she's gonna get disgusted, she's gonna feel gross, and that's
the right response.
Yeah. That's the right response. But most of the Adam 22, for example, right?
That's horrible, bro. That's
Adam 22,
horrible.
Obviously, he told the true story, right? Everyone knows that Adam 22
Adam
story?
22?
No.
I don't know what that is.
So I'll refresh you ladies' memory. Adam 22, he has No Jumper podcast. He's a host of that podcast. And he just got married to his wife, Lena, right? Lena.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, he lets his wife fuck whoever.
Now they smash girls together. They do porn together. But how the relationship has been, he's always only smashed other girls. She never been with no other guys, right? She never been with no other dudes. But just recently, about a month after they got married, she shot her first. He allowed her to shoot her first scene with another guy, big black guy.
And she's pregnant now, and Adam was like, you know, if the baby's black, I'm gonna raise it like it's my own, and I'm gonna do the right thing and step up. And me, I'm just like,
so yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What?
So you have guys. My point is that like a guy like Adam 22. Now the truth is, what I'm saying is that when that went out into the media, no one couldn't understand it. Like, wait. One, why would he allow his woman to do this? Now, he's already rich, but he did it for more money, right? So everyone is like, why would he allow his woman to get plowed by another man for money when he's already a multimillionaire, right? So then he's going on other podcasts and the truth actually comes out. So this is when I tell you, she never, ever respected him. That's why she was able to do that. Like, she was able to do that and still not lose more respect for him because she didn't respect him in the first place. So he went on his podcast and he says the true story of how he met his girl. So the first time he ever had sex with his woman was with an orgy. Him and two of his homies smashed the woman he married. So that he met her already when it was the soil and the ground was not good.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he already met her on wrong terms. So he just happened to be one of the guys that she chose. She probably wanted the other nigga with the bigger dick that was smashing her that night. But she was like, I guess I'll settle with you, Adam. You know what I'm saying? So she already didn't respect him from the door.
Right.
So generally speaking, not even generally speaking, I think overall, a woman that's going to
allow herself
to do
even
something
if her
like
husband wants to. I think there's a bigger contribution here to not respecting the husband.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, is that she doesn't respect herself.
Yes.
Can I chime in on that?
Yeah. She was already getting piped down. Yeah, go ahead.
What? She just sounds like a sex addict.
Yeah.
She
was
sounds
already
like a
broken.
sex addict, and women like that who have random sex with strangers and then gets pregnant. Now the child has no father, no connection to their blackness because they're two white people, right? So they're not even going to be raised by a black person. I mean, she's causing chaos and dysfunction in her own home. She sounds like a sex addict because they don't think about consequences. They'll just fuck anybody. That's what it sounds like she's struggling with. She was probably raped. That's what it sounds like.
But aren't you kind of like the opposite version of that?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you like to watch and stuff.
But I don't participate. And I would never have sex with more than one man.
What would you say about a guy?
Women only.
Okay.
No men. She had sex with a man. That's disgusting. I would never do that. I would only have sex with one man. I would never have sex with two men. You'd have to kill me. I would never do that. Not in two dicks. Never. Never. One dick only. Women, sure. Not two dicks. Not doing that. That would feel like rape. I would never do that. No way. But a woman that does that, she's a sex addict. She probably masturbates all the time. She probably
She's
fucks
she's a porn actress.
strangers. She's a sex
I think
addict.
the job label kind of gives it out.
Totally. No, I get it. She's a sex addict and a whore. And those two things don't equal wife. So he chose that.
Whore, yeah.
I think
You
it
gotta
goes
put
deeper.
emphasis.
Yeah, I think it goes deeper than
She put
sex addict.
she put the
No, sex addict is something that a lot of people don't hear often, but it goes really, really, really deep because you can just meet someone, not even know their name, and fuck them. It doesn't get any worse than that. You can go to a bar and somebody says, "Oh, you want to go to the bathroom?" and they go. That's a sex addict. I mean, that's a terrible.
Would you say
addiction?
Women who would have a one-night stand.
Okay.
Would you label her as a sex addict or not necessarily?
Depends on how many times she does it.
Depends on how many times she does it.
Yes.
So how many times would you label it as, okay, that's a sex addict? Like how many times a year?
That's a good question. I'm not the person to answer this. Maybe
what would you think?
Maybe more than once.
More than once a year?
Yes.
If she hooked up with a guy she doesn't know, she's a sex addict.
I would say so because that's like, why would you choose that route when there's plenty of people that will want a relationship with you?
What if she does that once a year, but consecutively for 10 years?
That's a good question. So like,
whore.
She needs to.
Haram.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm not going to disagree with you. That's too much. That's
Because if
too
you
much.
think about it, say she's 20, she does that every year. Now she's 30, and it's 10 niggas out there that busted down a first night. That's like, yeah, you was in them streets.
Okay, let me say more than twice in your lifetime, you've got a problem. More than twice.
2 one-night stands is the max.
Yeah, in your lifetime, yes. As a woman.
She doesn't agree.
I'm just wondering if you ever went to college or anything. Like, college is crazy. Like, I mean,
Shorty, no Fugazee right now.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Is there an age, because she mentioned the college several times now.
You did.
So, is there an age where it's like, okay, before that age, all is forgiven?
No.
For you.
For me?
I'm Middle Eastern. So
for me, and I'll speak in general as well for myself, I think all men, we look for a woman that doesn't have a past, just like a woman looks for a man that has a future. So if a woman did any type of promiscuous activities like that,
what's promiscuous activities?
So one of the worst things is a woman getting a train ran on them.
Oh,
that's unforgivable.
that's not even in my book.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, that's unforgivable. If I'm speaking to you and I found out that I could be in a relationship with you for 10 years, but if I found out from somewhere back in the day, 2 niggas hit it at the same time, it's done. I'm breaking up with you immediately. Then the other thing would have to be multiple one-night stands. Yeah, that's the first train, and then it's right after that is multiple one-night stands.
Go ahead.
Can I chime
I'll
in
say
on what
more
you
than
said?
2, actually.
In 1 year or in
whole time? Anything more than 2 is like.
Oh, so you agree? Okay.
I did, yeah, when you said that, I actually agree with you, because then it's like, okay, you had some sexual temperance. You're not that broken. You may be still you just don't look at the physical put it like this: a nigga can't. It's hard for guys to finesse you out the draws. Girls that's having multiple one night stands, a nigga with a good mouthpiece, he looks the right way. He could possibly finesse you out the draws in the past and the future.
But don't you think most? Because I see it in Western culture, is that most women would easily be swayed by charm and a good mouth. And, you know, as a Middle Eastern, I see, like, especially where, you know, now on the rise, there's a lot of us moving towards the West.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're pretty we're pretty charming. We can be funny.
Yeah.
And it's always easy to get a woman on the first date. So how would you judge a woman where it's like, is it really up to her, or is it her fault?
That's a good question.
Yeah, whose fault is it?
That's a good question, man.
Like, do you think any woman would let me rephrase the question. This is the question. Would you think any woman would fall easily to a very charming, good-looking, and funny, successful guy? All three attributes. You're on a first date. He's hitting every single note correctly. Would you think?
Want to go around the panel, or you want me to answer this one?
I want you to answer this, and then we'll go around the panel.
Go around the panel. I would say, generally speaking, if a guy checks off all the woman's boxes,
you know she has no shot. I personally think she has no chance.
Yeah, she has no shot. That's what I.
She has no
think.
chance.
If he's checking off all the boxes, he's gonna hit them draws. Just like you said, he has the charisma. He has the all her preferences, the physique, the height, the swag. He has all of it. The good mouthpiece. She doesn't stand a chance in most cases. I'll say this. Here's another one I'll add on to that. Generally speaking, that guy could smash most girls.
Yeah.
Not all. But the guy that has the status have a higher probability of smashing all, because status makes women feel comfortable. If they seen you on a TV before, if they heard your name before, you automatically have a
pass.
A pass. Like, you don't have to do as much. You could say less. You could chill more, because your status kind of speaks for itself. And then say if you're doing a little bit more and you have the mouthpiece and the charisma and all that too, those is hard. Most women fall into that, I think.
I have a genuine question. Define one night stand. What is one night stand? Like, the person is a stranger and you don't know them, you weren't talking for months, there was no lead up, you just like, I just met you and we're fucking? Or is one night stand, you had sex one time?
One night stand is the first time y'all hang out. Y'all could talk for a week before then or whatever. First night y'all hang out and he hit it, one night stand.
One night stand is more, for me, is more like no talking leading up. Like, they meet out on coincidence in a bar. She doesn't know him.
Oh, you talking about that way? That's the true way, though.
That's okay.
No, I mean that one night stand.
Okay, so if you're speaking of that one night stand, I would say, generally speaking, no.
Okay.
Generally speaking, no.
Confused.
Yeah, generally speaking, no, because the only way that guy would be able to smash that girl that first night, because you got to think about it. Women are slaves to their emotions. So, bruh, if she's not in the right mood, if a period on, if it's all these type of scenarios that have to play out perfectly for the man to get boxed.
Okay.
That's what I truly believe.
I want to chime in, and full transparency, like, no bullshit. I have never had a one night stand in my life based off of your definition. I've always spoken to the man at least 3 months before anything happened. And that
3 months.
At least 3 months. And then one time we have sex and then I'm like, fuck you, we're out. You know, it doesn't work. And then, like, you also said something earlier in your other comment about, like, you know, like relating to body count. I just want to add in, like, I'm not going to give any specifics, but I know women who have had triple digit. And when I would ask them, what are you going to do when you get married? How are you going to tell your husband? And their answer was always the same. Like, they would say, I'm not going to tell him. So, they lie.
So that's the thing. So when I watch all these podcasts about all these guys who are like, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, get with a girl who has, you know, more than X amount of body counts.
Yeah.
In my head, because I know human beings.
You know men.
And yeah, exactly. And I know women too. women lie.
Oh yeah.
So in my head, I'm watching this guy and he's like all confident. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to be with a girl who had more than 10 guys. In my head, I'm like, bro, you are never, especially that you're going on camera saying that, you are never going to find out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I
no,
would rather be the guy who's like, listen, I like you a lot. I'm very understanding, but I need to know everything.
Yeah.
So you got to lay it on me.
Yeah.
And then we'll deal if it's bad, we'll try and deal with it. And then it depends, like for example, the train thing is like not even
that's wild.
That's no way.
That's wild.
But a guy who goes and I think presents himself even on dates or even on podcasts where it's like, oh, if a girl slept with more than 5 guys, I'm never gonna be with her.
Right.
Like he blacklisted himself in every woman's book where it's like, okay, if I go out on a date, if I coincidentally meet this person, this successful person, I will make sure that he will only know about my high school boyfriend and maybe my last 7-year relationship, and he will not know about the 20 or 10 other guys.
Facts.
The girl I was talking about was an escort. Oh, like I was so jealous of her. I was young. I was like, why do you always have a boyfriend and nobody wants me? Like, what is this? And then she later told me after a year that she was an escort and she had triple digits. And I was like, how are you going to get married? Like, why would you do that? And she said, I'm not going to tell him. And that's what some women do. They think that they can monetize
It's
when
not
they're
they
young.
think, they can.
Okay.
They can. Women are extremely deceptive.
This is a good topic. Actually, let's make something fun out of it.
The women are so deceptive, and I think
men
a lot of these men who go on podcasts who are pretending to be alpha and like, oh, you are putting yourself in a very stupid position because no one is going to be honest with you. What you want to do, and Arabs are very good at that, we try to sway you to tell the truth. I'm an open-minded Habibti. You can tell me anything. I am your friend. We will share all. I did many bad things as well. Share together.
I killed people.
But a guy who goes out and talk about, oh shit, I'm not gonna be. No, women will never tell. And she just told you.
Yeah.
It was an escort. Like you can be with a woman who was a fucking escort and you will never find out.
So I always say this, right? So like we would never know the exact number as men, right? But if a man like myself dealt with enough women, there are certain cues and signs you could pick up from the get-go of, okay, is it over 10 or under 10? Because that's the main thing. Once it's over 10, it's just like, freak. Then you got to go, is it over 50 or under 50?
No, 50 is way too high.
Jesus
50 is crazy.
That's a sex worker. That's ridiculous.
But there are
That's
things, there are cues that I coach men about, different signs to pick up on. It's very simple because it's just human nature, right? A woman that has a whole lot of tattoos, that shows erotic behavior. So that means that most people that has a lot of tattoos, you got to think of what's the nature of getting a tattoo. What type of behavior, what's going on in your mental of why you want to feel pain and tattoo your body, right? For a man having tattoos, that's appealing because it shows like, maybe you're on edge a little bit, and women find that attractive. So it's different for a man. But for a woman, what are you on edge about? Well, you on edge about this, you got that tattoo? Well, you probably was on edge and let a nigga pipe you down. So it's like tattoos is a red flag. So I tell men about the tattoos, and I ain't gonna give it all away.
How many is too many? Please tell me. Tattoos. How many is too many tattoos?
Well, one, if the tattoo is on the arm, it's red flag already.
Up here?
Up here. If you got one of them manly tattoos up here, put it right there. Like what she had to go through to get the tattoo right there on the arm.
Okay.
So that's a little weird. And then there's multiple other things as well as far as her behavior. It's not what she says, it's what she does. But I'll get into that later on in the podcast. Let's have fun since we were talking about body count. Starting with you.
I think
Go
big
ahead.
contributing factor is the first thing I look for in a woman is that if she had a long-term relationship before. A big red flag for me is if she never had a relationship that lasted a few years. This tells me that you are unable to maintain a steady relationship and be with one person for a very long time. That is the biggest. For me, it's a bigger red flag than the body count. The body count is next and shortly close to it, but it has to be, for me, I relate it to year.
Yeah.
So how many a year? So if a woman, let's say you're 50 and you meet a 40-year-old,
Wow.
she's not going to have the same body count, obviously, as someone who's 18.
The probability is much less.
Exactly. So
Per
I
year.
think a 40-year-old, I'd give a little bit more leverage to. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be a little bit more forgiving.
Let's play a game real quick. Let's go around a panel since we're all speaking. This is gonna be fun, ladies. Get y'all all involved.
They're not gonna be honest about it.
But no. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be different. Starting with you.
Okay.
So this is a game.
All right.
The woman next to you. So it's gonna be her. So her, and then when it gets to you, you are going to do her. Oh no!
Wait, say that again.
Yeah, we know
Wait,
each other.
No,
We
you gotta know
can't
each
do
other.
her.
We gotta start here.
What?
So we're gonna start with you first. So you rate the girls next to you body count. What do you think her body count is?
1.
You giving her a 1?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
How
I
long
think
you been
she's
in
very,
America
like-
for?
Me?
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Puerto Rico is a part of America.
Who's low?
Thank you.
I didn't know it was 11:20.
Oh, you gotta go?
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Mamacita, you could go
See you
put the
guys.
camera on you. You want to say your goodbye? You want to give last thoughts on the podcast real quick?
I think it's nice that we don't all agree fully, but like I think it's a good dialogue.
Yeah.
I think it's good for men. I think we need men and women to have more dialogue, not just a
I
bunch
agree.
of women sitting in a circle
Yeah.
talking.
Definitely.
I think that we just go in circles. So I think it's good that we have like 2 strong men that are mentally strong, you know.
Thank you. We appreciate
That's
that.
good.
Thank you for having me.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
And
Yeah.
would you come back?
Yeah, we'll come back.
Awesome. We'll have you. We definitely have you back on.
Next time we'll do better planning.
Yeah, we'll do better planning.
And,
But
and we'll start earlier.
yeah, thank you for coming. You said that this was like the 5th time you were supposed to come, but you finally showed
It
up.
was like
So-
5 or
Wow.
6.
Dang. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Appreciate that.
Between work and being a mom.
I feel you.
Gotcha.
No worries.
I
We
made
appreciate
it.
you for
I'm
coming,
here.
though.
All right.
All right.
Nice
have a
to
blessed
meet
one.
you.
It's nice.
Get
to
home
meet
safe.
You
all.
too.
Yeah.
You too. Cheers.
Be
Bye-bye.
safe.
Yeah, I'll readjust it right now. Good catch. Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna look real empty.
I need to get comfy.
I know my fucking cheeks are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is not.
I don't have enough fat pads.
Yeah. Yo.
I'll just bring it back a little.
Oh, really?
Should be good. Right. All set?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
So, you heard the question?
I forget.
Oh, so,
Oh, rate. Oh,
Rate?
yeah. I said I think.
Well, guess.
Maybe like
Guess?
1 or 2.
okay. So 1 or 2, that's what you think her body count is. And how long have you been in America for?
2.5 years.
2.5 years? And you was living in Puerto Rico?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And you, how old are you?
25.
25? You said 2? Okay. And now you guess hers.
Who am I supposed to guess?
No. You have to guess her body count. What do you think it is? How many men do you think she fornicated with, had sex with?
Fornicated.
Only men?
Only men.
Exactly. Do they,
That's a
Yeah,
good
she
one.
understand, huh?
do women count? 'Cause
Women,
that's the
women
thing,
don't
like-
count. Women don't count.
Okay, if they don't count, then it's a low number.
I don't know. I don't want to. Like,
No, just go off what you think. This is why we
I'm
have this
34.
exercise.
What?
like 30 plus.
Oh hell no.
30 plus.
30 plus?
Way too high.
Okay. Oh, no, you
Way
gotta
too
say
high.
it.
I'm
You
sorry.
gotta get,
No,
I'll
no,
let,
no, no.
I'll let
No
all the
offense.
ladies give a rebuttal if they want.
I got thick skin. That is way too high.
Okay.
But don't you think her answer was way too low for you? 2?
I don't know.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, we're gonna say.
So, and now can you rate her?
Her, I'll say, since she's similar to my age, maybe 4.
Close.
Yeah.
Close to the actual number, yeah.
She looks like a long-term relationship type of woman. So I
Okay.
would say 4.
Say 4 bodies. And could you rate her?
I'm going to say 2, to be honest. We all have a high school boyfriend, and then we all get a different boyfriend as adults. And she seems like she would kick it with the same guy rather than go find different people.
But she was at the parties in college, and you know that's a friend.
All right, I think it was misunderstood.
Yeah.
I wasn't that crazy. I'm just saying, like, we all did a little shit.
And we didn't go to college
like this.
together. We went to high school
Sorry,
together.
didn't hear you.
Ish.
Okay. And I'll have you. Can you rate her? What do you think her body count is?
I don't want her to catch me outside, so I'm gonna.
I feel like you guys are like thinking way too crazy of me just because of the college shit.
Well, she's super young, so I'll put her on the lower end. I'll say 10.
10. Okay. So what this exercise showed was exactly what we were talking about. We were all
Guess him.
We'll get
Yes,
to
him.
that. Men body count really doesn't matter. But the
That's
reason
so
why
rude.
I brung this up, right? Because the Durrah was having a conversation with yourself over here. And we were speaking about, you know, women pretty much being promiscuous and how can you really tell if a woman's body count is high? And then he was saying something valid, like the guys on the podcast that is like, oh, I won't date a woman that has, you know, anything that's under 17. She's off limits. And he's like, well, you just, you know, outed yourself because now she'll never tell you.
Exactly.
And he also went into the points to say, like, you know, us Arabic men, you know, we play it cool. We finesse the information out. So what this shows here is that women is never going to be honest about it. You get what I'm saying? And to the point where some of the ladies know that the other girl body count is probably high, but they still want to say 2, 4, all these numbers, but what they really want
out of respect to a stranger. So imagine how would they do it upon themselves?
On themselves, exactly. So they wouldn't want to give that information out. So that was just an exercise there.
I'll prove you wrong right now. I'll tell you
go
my
ahead.
body count.
What'd you say?
I'll tell you my real body count.
We don't want to know. You want to get that out?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I
She's proud
don't
of it.
care.
We don't. Yeah,
And
we don't.
I have no filter ever, and I will tell the truth. If we are not counting women, it is 20. That's my body count. I'm 34 years old. I've been with 20 different people sexually. 20 if we're not counting women. And that's on God. Like, I don't have to lie because, first of all, I'm not ashamed. I do think it's high, but at the same time, that's been in my early 20s. And I feel like if we're going by year, it was probably 1 or 2 per year maximum. There were long periods of being celibate. But I feel like if women are going to lie about how many people they've had sex with, they're going to lie about more important critical things too. And that's not a savory woman you want to be with. So you might say, she's not for me, but I would rather that than be deemed a liar and then not trusted for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would rather tell you all my dirty laundry and you choose if you fuck with me or not. If you don't, that's fine.
I respect that a lot.
Real
Question
shit,
for you.
please.
Question
and then
for
also, blood work is clean. Like, let's talk about it.
Okay, question for you. You said that you just ended a relationship,
Yeah.
right? Do you think that you would have ended that relationship that you were in if your body count was lower?
Absolutely. The man was, I think he was
So,
unfit for the type of union that I wanted. I wanted a leader, someone that I could admire and respect. And although those things were there in the beginning, when I saw his misrepresentation, it caused me to leave.
I think I know what he's getting at. He's not getting at that. I think what he's getting at is that he asks you, do you think you would break up? Because he's coming from a point where you've seen 20 different men. So what he really is asking is that, let's say if you've only seen 2 men in your life, do you think that would affect your decision to break up with that man? Because now you've been with 20 and now you know what is out there.
Well, are you saying like in a figurative sense or like literally what happened? You mean like
I'm
you're
saying in,
directly my ex or
we
just
could
anybody?
say,
I mean, halfway in, but like, do you
let's go
think
directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have left regardless.
Okay. Now, figuratively,
Do you think the more men women sleep with, the more chances they have of wanting something different with their current boyfriend? Because they've experienced a lot of different varieties. So it's like, I go, I have a vanilla ice cream. I'm eating my ice cream, but I've tried 20 different ice creams. And I'm like, you know what, man? I need some strawberry. And then you get some strawberry. I'm like, I'm in the mood for pineapple because I tried pineapple.
Try pineapple.
So
You like that
you see what I
pineapple.
mean?
I'm going to give you a very unique answer, right? So what I think, just for me, I cannot talk for other women because first of all, I've never been dick crazy. I've never chased penis or anything like that. But what I will say is I do think the more partners you have over, let's say a safe number like 5, the more you have to up the ante in the bedroom, and not every man is in for that. So for me, if it's not a certain type of sexual experience, I don't want it. So I do think that relates to my body count.
You become desensitized after a while in terms of sexually.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm very much into BDSM, and if that's not present,
What
I
is
don't
that?
want that.
BDSM, bro. Chains and ropes and
That's why I don't know.
yeah.
Homie, don't play that.
No, well,
Bondage.
for me, like
Bondage, yeah. Getting tied to the bedpole.
if you have
Leash on the neck.
Whips,
Oh,
chains,
that's
Yeah.
all that.
yeah.
You know, Rihanna.
What's the book all you ladies like? 50 Shades of Grey type.
Okay, so I think that has to do with having a higher body count because, you know, when you have sex with 1 or 2 people in your whole life, you can have gentle missionary, but when you have too many, right? And you can say 20 is too many or you can say 50 is too many. It doesn't, regardless of what your view is, you do need more intensity in the bedroom, and that does impact the relationship in a negative way sometimes. What
So-
if the man doesn't want to do that, and then now you've lost a potential partner because you need so much intensity in the bedroom?
That's exactly where I was getting at. So you do, I mean, you just said the threshold is now a lot higher to orgasm. You need to be stimulated that much more because of your many experiences.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I think some men like BDSM, and if they like it, I like it. So, you know, that's a preference sexually as well. You know, there are women who have low body count and their man wants that, and that's what they give them. So I feel like it depends.
This is where it gets a little interesting.
Yeah.
So like Middle Eastern men, we're known to be a little bit, more to the freaky side. And the problem is sometimes Middle Eastern women are not into that. And I know several different combinations of examples. Example one, a guy who's a freak in bed meets a very, well-behaved, non-promiscuous girl.
Yeah.
He wants to try all that freaky shit, and she is not down for it.
Right.
The relationship goes down. You get another guy who's into freaky shit, meets another girl, a little bit promiscuous,
Yeah.
agrees to the freaky shit, they get along very well.
Yeah.
Right.
So the big question is, for men, it's also kind of like, what would you rather have?
Yeah.
A girl that's, untouched, zero experience, but like is not down to do anything that you are into? Or a girl with a little bit of experience and will do whatever you want to do? And
Yeah.
that question is for you, my man.
Hey man, I will choose the virgin, the girl that's untouched, the girl that is something about. I always said this.
Some of them are coachable, some of them are not coachable.
Yeah, some
Right.
are coachable, some are not. But like, and even when I was young too, I'm 34 now. But even my younger days, the woman that has less experience is just more attractive.
That's true, 100%. 100% agree.
Because as a man, especially when we're talking about acts of sex or just anything in general, spending time with her, I want to show that woman the world. But if she already experienced all these positions and all these things with other men, then yeah, I could do it better than them niggas. I could, wow you too. But it's like, it's not that wow factor, that thrill factor. I want to be the portal to that woman's world. How can I be your portal if other niggas already ported inside you? So, for me personally, I would choose the woman that has less experience. That's just generally
and hope to work that experience or teach that experience out.
Yeah, well, not only that, in a relationship, right? Like,
the longer they are together, the more they're going to be comfortable to experience.
The more they're going to be comfortable to experience things. But like, I think as a man, because put it like this, women want a man with experience anyway, right? So I'm an experienced man. If I get a girl that's a virgin now, I'm totally fine with that. I already hit everything. Already did everything. Now I got this woman that hasn't experienced nothing. If I get with her, she'll be like, wow, he's top G. He's Superman. He's doing everything. But the woman that been around the block, yeah, you may be one of the Avengers, but maybe you're not the top Avenger. And it isn't even about, it isn't an insecurity of you feeling like you're the top Avenger. It's the fact that that vibe and chemistry won't even be there, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I had sex with virgins before, and it's much different than having sex with virgins than having sex with a woman that been around the block. Yeah, the woman that been around the block, yeah, she may be doing some wild stuff. Cool. But the girl that's unexperienced, she's like, can barely suck the dick and just choking on it from, it's just different. Like, it's that innocence. It's that purity innocence that I think that is very attractive to a man.
But what are the chances of you getting a virgin in the Western world?
Yeah, man, slim to none.
I think what you said was fantastic, and my whole perspective on dating is based off of what you just said. That's why I don't date my own age. We're the same age. I would never date somebody like him because he's too young. I go way up in age. I do not date anyone under 45 because their baggage matches mine. He's too young. And so his body count, I think, is going to be too disproportionate to mine. So I think if you want somebody that's virginal, that's because you yourself have maintained some innocence too. And I feel like a man who's 50 or over is going to have so much baggage. They have a lot of kids, they have divorces, whatever. So my baggage isn't this huge mountain of shit that they have to encounter.
Yeah,
that's why I go up.
I'll explain it to you in another way. It isn't that. So it isn't that I don't have baggage and I'm looking for a girl like that. Since I don't have a whole lot of experience or baggage, then I would want a girl that doesn't have. No, it's totally wrong, right? It has everything to do with value, right? So when I was younger, I had a different mindset. Put it like this: the more money I've made and the more I've been in the gym and the more I've worked on myself, the more standards I have for women, right? Because I am more valuable now. So that means that I have the ability to dictate terms in a relationship. But not only that, I've earned the ability to garner more attention from women, so I get to choose the woman I want. When I was younger, the choice wasn't there. I kind of had to maybe settle for certain things. Now I know that I don't have to settle. So since I don't have to settle, my preferences is actually what I want because I can dictate those terms, if that makes sense. So, for example, why would I look at woman? A woman is a Lamborghini. It's my. I get with her. I'm providing her. I'm giving her security. Why would I want a Lambo that has 200,000 miles on it? If I have the value, which let's say the money, to go to the dealership and get a brand new Lambo with no miles. I'm gonna get the brand new Lambo with no miles is because I worked on myself and I garnered the attention to be able to get that.
There is another factor though, when you said with experience and baggage, I think he also meant something along the lines of when he sleeps with a girl that's been around, there is not that wow factor where she's very impressed. It's like, yeah, you're good. It's a very similar feeling, and since I'm a car guy, if a girl has been in Lambos before, and I pick her up, let's say, in a Ferrari or a very high-end car, she'd be like, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I've been in Lambos before, you know. But if a girl has, never been in a supercar, and I pick her up in a Lambo, she's like, Oh my! What is
Gosh,
this?
she's gonna be taking pictures of
What
it,
is
telling
this?
her friends.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a whole different wow factor.
Not that this is not a literal example, because
Yeah.
some girls don't give a shit about cars and don't even know cars.
Facts.
But this is just like a metaphor to what he was talking about with sex. A girl who's been around or seen a lot, yeah, it's good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, fist bump. You know, you're all right. You're all right. You know.
But
I mean,
men have a wow factor on women too.
yeah. So so men like to feel accomplished.
Yes.
We like praise. So it's like when a woman's like really wowed by us and we can feel it, that's also a part of the experience that makes us feel good.
So what I was saying was like older men, 45 is kind of young, but like 50 and up.
Speak a little closer to the mic.
Older men have a wow factor in the same kind of scenario that you're saying, where a less used vehicle is more valuable. But older men, their wow factor is, oh, you're not in menopause, your pussy works, it's not dry as fuck, you don't have saggy skin. So when you're a younger woman, they don't care so much about the body count because you're just younger and there's value in being younger.
Maybe, yeah, to a certain extent, yeah. To a
That's
certain
huge,
extent,
it has to be a huge age gap though, but they value a good-looking young woman, and if your body count is double digit, right? I said I had 20, not including women, right? So it's like they don't really care so much, you know, but a young man, of course you care. But if you're 60, you're not going to give a fuck that the woman was with however many.
I agree on that. I think also
she's young.
the older men get, the less they care.
Yes.
And not only that,
They're high value too. So it's
I think especially if a man has like a whole family already and he's like 50 years old.
Yeah.
At this point, he's looking for two things. Obviously the beauty and a peace of mind.
Comfort, yeah.
Yeah, he wants comfort and peace. He doesn't want drama. He doesn't want headache. So at that age, I'll say you're right. Men, I don't think care about.
I don't date young guys. Anybody my age, I don't even look at them. It doesn't matter if they're rich, they're tall. I don't give a shit. If you're under 45, you don't even exist to me. Older only because they value youth. They really do. You're young, your skin is tight, your face is beautiful, you look good in a dress. Older women have more challenges physically that we don't have, and they want young women, and so they'll compromise on some things.
I got a question and get everyone else involved in the panel. And going off the age thing, I'm kind of just going off of what y'all talking about.
Yeah, I was going to get to the age thing too. I'm curious, what's their maximum age and minimum age?
I got one that's going to kind of go with that. Starting with you. Do you think dating gets easier as you age or harder?
Easier for different reasons, harder for different reasons
Explain
than when
it.
you're younger.
You could explain the reason.
When you're older, you're more sure of what you want, and you've had enough interactions with people of the opposite sex to be able to see through the bullshit faster. So if someone's trying to spit game, you're able to pick it out quick. You're able to discard that person if they're not in line with what you were looking for. When you're older, it's also harder because it depends. Like for women, it's different than for men. For women, the older you are, it becomes significantly harder to date.
Okay.
Whereas with men, if you have the right financial status, then it actually does become a little bit easier.
Okay. I agree with that. What do you think on that? Fairly?
Yeah, that's a fair answer. Yeah.
Let's skip you. We're going to go around this way. Let's go to Emma. So do you think dating gets easier as you age or harder?
I think harder because I think all the good guys probably are already in relationships.
Okay. Fair enough. What about you, Reagan?
I agree with her, and I think it's harder because, like, as you grow up and you get, like, a job, like, I don't have time to go to, like, bars and, like, I don't meet guys because I don't go anywhere because I'm busy. So I think it's harder just because, like, when you're younger, you go to school every day and there's always people, or, like, you know,
you're around crowds.
Yeah, like you're always like around people, or like when you're 21 or something, you're all going to the bars. Like, but when you're older than that and you just work a full-time job, like
you got to really make time.
Yeah, like
I see what you're saying.
Yes, and you're already exhausted, so it's like you really have to like.
Valid point.
I feel it gets harder because the same thing we were talking earlier about the experience you get throughout the time. Like sometimes you see guys like, bro, I already been through this. Like, I don't have time for this. So I can keep looking for what I want.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that it gets harder because your standards go up as you get older. So then it's like, oh, yeah, I fell for you before. I'm not going to fall for you again. So you're disqualifying even more guys as you're getting older. because your preferences went up and standards. Okay, makes sense. What about you?
I definitely think it gets harder the older you get to date, but I'll say if you're young, the one kiss of death is having a baby. So even if you're young and you have a baby, you still can't date. It's still hard. So I think those two things are very challenging. You know, you could be a young woman with a baby, nobody wants you, and then nobody wants to date you, and then if you're older, baby or not, it's very, very challenging. Absolutely. I'm 34 and I consider myself to be older, and I feel old as fuck. Honestly, I feel like I'm 40. I don't feel like I'm 34. And I'm like, God damn, I've got
I think it's, by the way, I think it's the same for men, because I have kids.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want more kids.
Yeah.
At all. So it's usually harder to go younger, because like 90% of the younger chicks want children.
Oh, okay.
And usually on the first date, it's like, oh, you have kids, yeah. Even if I'm like rich, fit all the check marks, but I don't want to have more kids.
Yeah.
So
that's a preference you don't want, but you can.
I can, but
bust nuts until you 80.
I don't. No. I don't want.
You don't want them. Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, my perspective on that, it goes like value, right? So I think that age matters for women for those first 10 years. So when she's, 12 years, 18 to 30. I'll say that those are her best years of finding the best guy she can get. Her value is the highest because the low value guy is going to want you and a higher value guy is going to want you. Higher value guys, they look for fertility and stuff like that. Younger guys, they take in anything anyway. So compare a 20-year-old guy to a 20-year-old girl. Who has more sexual value?
The woman.
Yeah. A 25-year-old girl and a 25-year-old man. Who has more sexual value?
I would still say the woman.
The woman.
Yeah.
The woman, right? A 30-year-old girl and a 30-year-old man. Who has more sexual value?
I'd say it's starting to even out at that point.
Starting to even out.
And then
okay.
it flips.
Starting to even out. So then it starts to flip, right? And then a 35-year-old woman and a 35-year-old man. Who has more sexual value?
Him.
Men.
Yeah. Now, the 40-year-old woman and a 40-year-old man. Who has more sexual value?
Men.
Okay. Now we're going to go 50. 50-year-old woman, 50-year-old man. Who has more sexual value?
Men. It's easy from 40 on.
Now, here it goes, right? So, is the value, and this is strictly from Kevin Samuels.
35, 50% off.
Right? So do you think the value is that, so the 30-year-old, 35-year-old woman versus the 35-year-old man and the 50-year-old man versus the 50-year-old woman, do you think it's the same distance of sexual value or the sexual market value gets even bigger when a woman is 50 and a man is 50?
I think it gets even bigger.
Gets even bigger.
Yeah. When you're a woman, to be sexually viable to men in your age groups or in other age groups, you have to have more.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a man, you just kind of need to be well off.
Yeah.
Like you have a singular goal. If you're financially successful, if you can provide for yourself, if you can provide for your family, if you're a good provider, you have a good job, you have like the bells and the whistles and stuff like that, that really opens up a lot more doors or legs than it would, being a rich 50-year-old woman.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same. It's an aged version of the question that we started the podcast off with.
Yeah.
Pretty poor or rich and ugly.
Exactly. And the big thing is for women, you know what I mean? And on this podcast, any ladies that watch the podcast, you should know that your prime years is between when you're 18 to before you get 30. That's the most sexual marketplace value you have to lock down a guy. So you should start sooner rather than later. And also to roll off the what you were talking about as well, that you would want guys, you're 34 years old, you'll date a guy that's 50. The reason why y'all have like the same sexual market value is what I'm saying.
Wait, but I agree with
yeah,
you.
you agreed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That is a fact.
It's a fact.
I'm 34. I met my ex when I was 33, and he's 50, and we were perfectly matched.
Yeah.
He had 3 children, 3 grandchildren. I have only 1 child, and that put me at the same level as him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a fact. Fact.
That's
Totally
what
agree.
happens.
Yeah,
What you got
but
on
that's
that,
not
Durrah?
a bad thing, though.
No, I agree. No, I don't have anything to add.
Yep.
Children, I think there's always exceptions, like minor exceptions. Like, let's say if some women don't even want kids,
Yeah.
and let's say you can find a young woman who gets a high value man or whatever they call it,
Yep.
and she doesn't want to have kids. I actually know I know a couple who have that problem, and it's the strangest thing ever. The guy is good looking, tall, rich, popular,
Yeah.
and they've been together, high school sweethearts.
They don't want to have kids?
She doesn't want to have kids.
Oh.
Most bizarre,
Oh, she doesn't want to have
most
kids.
bizarre
Yeah,
thing
that's
ever.
Wild.
Wild.
Yeah, you got.
And they've been together since like they were 16 years old.
Yeah, she got to give brother a pass to lay his seed.
No, not even one. So odd.
Yeah, that's
so there are
that's
always
an odd
exceptions.
case. Yeah, for sure.
Again, I think I consider myself as an exception because I don't want to have more kids at all.
How many kids do you have?
2. I got a boy and a girl.
2? Nah, that's
I'm
not an
good.
exception. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. That's it.
You're good.
No,
You're
but I
30.
mean exception as in like even if I go back into the dating world, I don't want any
You
more
have a
kids.
got your
specific
2.
reason?
And a boy and
A specific
girl.
reason? Yeah, I want to spend my money on myself. I want to have fun, and I have expensive hobbies. So
That's responsible.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, absolutely. No, I'm very clear with what I want.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, though. So
Yeah.
you're in the dating world currently.
No. I do have a girlfriend.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But when you were,
Yeah.
you had children,
Yeah.
were trying to date as a single dad, would you or would you not date a single mom? Given that the likelihood of a single mom wanting more kids would probably be lower.
I would if I was back in the dating world with 2 kids and I met another woman who had a child. Yeah, I would date her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah.
unique perspective, I think, because I see a lot of men where even if they're
that's because he has kids.
I have kids already.
Would you date the woman if you didn't have kids?
It
Gets a little different.
It gets like she has to be,
Super bad. and-
super good and
feminine and everything.
Everything. Like
Yeah,
she has to
everything.
have
Yeah.
every single check mark, including the willingness to have more kids with me.
Yeah.
And like no psycho ex. The
Yeah.
ex has to be a decent guy because he's a reflection of her.
Yeah.
So going back to your point, I would date, but I would also look at her ex-husband. And if he's one of those, like if he's in jail, like I'm gonna cross her out
Yeah.
immediately.
Okay.
But if he's like a decent guy, has a good job,
Yep.
decent job, normal person, yeah, then yeah. But if I didn't have kids, and she did, like I said, she'd have to check everything
all the
out.
boxes. Yeah. All the boxes.
I have a friend actually who he has no kids, met a girl with 3 kids, and they've been together for a very long time, and he's very happy.
Did he have kids with her?
No,
Ooh.
no,
Ooh.
yeah, he didn't want.
Ooh.
It's very so. There's always weird
Yeah,
exceptions.
that's a weird exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to add on to what you're saying. Do you feel like, or a question rather, relating to what she asked you, do you feel like if a woman came to you and you were single, right, and she had a child, do you feel like she has to be exceptionally attractive for you to consider her, or can she be average in looks, just looks?
So in looks, regardless of the situation, like me personally, I have a very specific type.
Okay.
To the point where it gets kind of weird on my YouTube because like everyone, when I started dating the person that I'm with, people were confused. Were like, did he go back to his ex or is this a new person? From how much they looked
So you
alike.
pull a Kanye then.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but I've always had that. I have always had a very specific type.
Okay.
So-
So she has to fit that type for you to consider her.
Yeah, because for
Okay.
me, looks I think is very important.
Okay.
It's not about if the person themselves they're a bombshell or not. Oh, it's not about if the person themselves they're a bombshell or not.
Okay.
It's really about if they are my type.
Right.
They,
pressed the button by accident. Sorry. Go
So
ahead.
for me, she can be a 10. For another guy, she can be an 8 or a 7. But she has to be my type, no exception.
Right.
Yeah. So that's regardless if she has a kid or no kid. She has to be my type.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. I asked that because I worked for a really wealthy family in Washington, and the wife was like a supermodel. And she came with a child. And I feel like that was the only reason why he took her. Now, that might not be fair to say, but it was really hard for me not to recognize how attractive she was and how he was 15 years older than her. So I really felt like the looks have everything to do with a man accepting a woman with a child. That's why I asked.
It's a man accepting a woman with a child I think is very possible if they check a lot of things. And also depends on the child.
Yeah.
Again, depends on the previous relationship.
Right.
And if he has the financial means, and if he wants more kids and she is willing to give him more kids, I see absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know this lady. She's a YouTuber. Sorry.
Yeah.
And she has a kid, and she gives advice to girls like, if you have a kid, don't like wait until like couple dates until you tell him you have a kid.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Oh, 100%. That's the children thing is a first date thing.
Yeah.
Not only that, I think wanting children or not is a first date thing. So on my first date, immediately, by the way, I got 2 kids and I don't want any more.
Okay.
Do you want more kids? If yes, well, it was nice seeing you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because she said like she prefers to wait a couple days and then tell him.
Oh, wait a couple of days so she can get him hooked, kind of thing.
Yeah,
How many
hooked a little
kids?
bit.
She had one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean that's a gray. I'm not a very black and white person. I'm a very gray person. Like there are shades of everything. I see the tactic. I don't demonize it very much because as a guy, I also have certain tactics that might not seem, very virtuous. So just the same way, like I would test a woman in certain situations, and I might be a little bit manipulative about it.
Women do the same thing.
Women do the same, and it's like, okay, so she wanted me to see how awesome she is. All right,
Yeah.
I get it. Like, and it would really suck if she turned out to be really awesome and then she told me she had a kid. I'd be like, oh, okay. I don't think I would, if I really liked the girl, I don't think I would end it. I'm the type of guy that's very honest at first, so I would say, listen, like, I just want to tell you now, I'm not really sure if this would, go all the way. But if you're willing, I am down to just like, see how this goes. I will be exclusive to you alone. I won't go, dating around. And but I don't want you to have those expectations that I'm sealing the deal now.
Yeah.
And then we see how it goes. And if she's like getting more awesome, then what can you do?
Women and men are always going to hide their inadequacies. A woman that has a kid, she knows that's an inadequacy for most men. Like, oh, you got a kid? Well, you know what I mean? A guy that doesn't have a job or can't keep a job, he's not going to tell you like, well, yeah, I just lost my job last week. And I've been trying problems to find another job. He's not going to tell you that. He's going to wait a little bit. So men and women, we all, human beings, we play the same manipulative games when it comes to dating in general.
Even successful men will do the opposite. Like if I go into the dating world now, I would take my mom's Honda out for a date.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want her to see what I drive.
Yeah.
And then I would see, is she really into me for
Really
me?
into, yep.
Or the other stuff?
Yeah. It's a whole lot of different tactics.
So you
men
think
and
it's a
women.
red flag, like if she asks how much you earn in the first date?
That is equivalent
that was-
to asking a woman's her body count.
Yeah.
That's equivalent.
I think that's even worse. No, that for me, that's worse.
Could be worse.
It's like,
Fair enough.
what? Why do you? Okay, you're going there right away.
Yeah.
She's going to the bank account.
That's like a guy just saying you want to just have sex.
Exactly. Yes.
You're showing your
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I equivalent to more of the body count because it's a question. What's your body count? It's like, you want to know my body count?
Yeah.
What? Oh, what's your bank account? You want to know how much money I got? What's going on with you? So, Yeah, that's distasteful. You know what I'm saying? So
It's also distasteful, I think, when a woman is really impressed with money, because sometimes they can't hide it,
yeah,
and I see it.
yeah, that is true. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
I remember one of the green flags. When I was still in the beginning, and I picked her up, blue Lambo,
Yeah,
and I was waiting for that comment. You know, like at least like, hey, nice car. I got nothing.
she never said it.
So I was like, so this no.
She didn't really
No,
care.
she's like, what?
It's more impressive.
I'm like, you, no comment on the car. She's like, oh, I like the color. And I was like, okay, all right.
So has she been in them before? Like going back to earlier?
It has nothing to do with if she was in them or not. It's that she doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because some women, when I was dating and I'd pick them up in the car, they would immediately take the phone out, story, Instagram, and take that little, that shot with my hand with the tattoo on the
Hand
steering
tattoo
wheel.
with the watch.
Yeah.
She only get that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I
only
want the
get that.
big G, but you can't
Yeah.
see his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
those are always red flags. Yeah,
That's
go
a
ahead.
turn off.
It's not a turn off because the mindset changes.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, okay, you're about money. Well, guess like I'm just about to get into your pants, and that's gonna be
Yeah.
it.
Now
She
we're on an even playing field.
immediately gets eliminated from the relationship status.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Y'all got a lot of good questions. This is good. Any other questions?
I think we're good, man. It's what time is it?
We beat it up.
Yeah, I'm
think
beat.
think we beat it up. Yeah, it's 12. Yeah. Let's wrap this up, man. Let's wrap this up. We're gonna do last thoughts on the podcast and any last questions. So if you have spend 15 more minutes, any last questions you have, you could ask those questions. But last thought, if you don't have any questions, do last thoughts.
Last thought was
How'd you like the podcast?
I liked it. It was different for me. I never did this before.
Nice.
So
Would you come back?
yeah,
Cool.
I would.
Yourself?
I really like it.
You
It
did?
was, yeah, I like
Nice,
the
nice.
vibe.
Like the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Would you come back?
Yes.
Oh,
You would.
sorry, he wasn't
It's
talking to
fine.
me.
It's fine.
And yourself?
This was
Last-
really cool. This was more than I thought it was going to be.
Hey, thank you.
At first, can I be transparent?
Sure.
I thought you were regurgitating Kevin Samuels, but I was dead fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Dead wrong. Both of y'all are really on top of your shit as far as like understanding women and the way shit works. And when people like regurgitate information, there's holes you can poke in it, but
You can
y'all
poke
were
it.
fucking bulletproof with what you were saying and like damn near psychic. It's really,
No, I did give
really
Kevin
impressed.
Samuels props on the exam he didn't say that, but he always goes over the ages
Yeah.
between men and women.
He's created a trend that's helping people become more enlightened, but your knowledge base is so much more than that. And especially you, I mean, wow, I was super impressed. So
Thank
yeah.
you. Thanks.
Appreciate that. Would you come back?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. And yourself?
I actually do have a question.
Oh, okay.
I really
Let's
do.
get it.
So, are you guys on Reddit at all?
No.
I'm not.
You're
No.
not?
No.
So, the female equivalent of what you guys are talking about is typically referred to as the female dating strategy, where you look for high value men and you discard men who are low value, especially in your prime years.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel that that's fair, or do you feel that women should try to be more open minded, regardless of a guy's money status?
No, I have a daughter, and women should operate just like that.
Yeah.
The way that I don't want my daughter to settle for a bum or settle for a nigga that has inadequacies. So women being hypergamous, because that's what you're talking about. So the hypergamous natures of women wanting the best that they can get. That's how it should be. Since the beginning of time, only 40% of men procreated. But I believe around 80% of women procreated since the beginning of time. So that just tells you that women choose the top men, and they leave the rest of them niggas don't get any box. They don't get the chance to procreate with most women.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's
Even
nature.
as
Yeah.
a father, I agree with that too.
I'm a mother. and I have a son, not a daughter. And like the way that I teach him to look for women is very similar to what you guys say.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm very picky with who I would approve for him to date versus who I would not approve of. I don't want him dealing with, bad situations that
Yeah.
because we are our experiences. if you have a bad experience, you're
For
going to
sure.
take that with you. So I don't want him, taking that into his future relationship, especially with his wife or the mother of his children.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to what you said, like, I think that, like with your son, right? You could teach him those things, right? But with men is different because we're born with an empty slate. We're born with no sexual market value. So what you want to teach him is to build his sexual market value, because men, we can only do what we garner the attraction of, right?
Oh, yeah.
If he's 18 years old and not in a gym and not asserting himself, he's not going to be able to garner attraction from the top women anyway, with beauty, with values, with morals, and all of that. So one of the main things you want to teach your son, because I have a son and a daughter, and I'm going to raise them totally different.
Yeah.
And the way I'm going to raise my daughter is it's literally protect her from the world. Give her an understanding that, this is how the world operates. This is the male mindset. And I would give her a perspective on things, not just because most people, I'll say this before I get to that. Most people in this world, and it's scientifically proven, 98% of people in the entire world only have a perception, meaning that they perceive things. You know what I mean? 2% of people, they have a perspective on things, right? So that means that after you perceive something, which you're perceiving things based off you're being influenced, 2% of people have the critical thinking ability to be able to break down what they perceived and have a true perspective of it, right? So I would teach my daughter and my son that. When it comes to my daughter, it's going to be a coddled relationship, right? Going to try to do everything for her, right? My son, you're not going to get those same benefits that my daughter got. You kind of got to get it out the mud, because what women go through, the more women go through, it hardens her. She becomes more masculine, right? And I know that I'm not attracted to masculine women, and most men aren't attracted to masculine women. So the more pain a woman experiences, the more hardened she'll become. The more pain a man experiences, he has to overcome that pain. But if he overcomes it, it becomes masculine, and women are attracted to masculine men. So he has to go through pain, conquer that pain, overcome it, and he'll become a better man. Because everyone wants a competent man and an experienced man. Women, men necessarily, we don't prioritize competence, and we don't prioritize her experience. We look for the lesser. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like with my son, I've told him, don't really get serious with anyone in your high school. You're in high school right now. Don't really worry about that.
Yeah.
He has 2 businesses of his own that actually do.
Your son?
Yeah.
That's good.
He's very, very smart, and I'm very encouraging of his entrepreneurial interests. So I told him.
How old is he?
He's 16.
16? Should he start working out?
He is.
Good. Yeah.
He is.
Absolutely.
No, he is.
Oh, he is.
He's
Perfect.
6'3", so like,
Oh, he's 6'3". Oh, yeah. He's
yeah.
almost my height.
Tell him to get a program. I'll fix him up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let him know.
He got him. He got him.
Yeah, I got him.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
dope though. Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Would you? How'd you like the podcast?
I liked it. I like the way it's set up. I like that not everybody agrees, but we still respect our differing opinions.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, because if you're just looking for a vacuum, that's a very dangerous place. But when
Yeah.
you're open to different ideas and you're open to hearing other people's perspectives, I think everybody's more enriched and better for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And would you come back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you for coming. We'll definitely have you back. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You was speaking some facts too. So being very
Thank you.
no fugazi. Last thoughts or any questions? What you got for me, Emma? No questions?
No, I enjoyed my time though. I liked listening to everyone, and I actually feel like I did learn something.
What did you learn?
The male perspective and like other female.
What about the male perspective did you learn?
That I disagree with a lot.
Disagree? No, tell me one. Tell me one. This is good. What's one thing that you disagree with? That is just like, I really don't.
That you said a lot of things about females don't matter for males. Like body count for one. I feel like it does matter for males too.
So I say, well, it's all statistics out there too, right? So the reason why a female's body count matters is because females have oxytocin, which is a pair bonding chemical, which allows them to pair bond with their mate and also with their baby. Literally, I have a kid, and my girlfriend, when my son is crying, milk starts to come out of her titties. Like, that's how like oxytocin works that way. So to bring it full circle, when a woman has sex with multiple men, there's a higher likelihood she won't be able to pair bond with her future man. Like, she pair bonded with the first couple.
I read that research paper, the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not that.
What do you think it is?
So the problem is what we discussed with you. It's the threshold of needing more excitement.
Okay.
So the problem with women having a higher sex count is that, like she said, she needs more excitement to get an orgasm. But the pair bonding thing is not true. I read the whole, took me like fucking 9 hours, man.
Yeah, I read it. I read it too. It's actually, it was studies done. It was a big study done, right? And it showed that once a woman reaches a body count of 6, the probability for her to maintain a long-term stable relationship
becomes a lot less.
It drops down to 20%. So,
but the Oxycontin thing, I don't think that.
Well, it's oxytocin, right? So the study on it, it's multiple studies on it, right? But this specific study, it just shows that women have 10 times more oxytocin than what we have, right? So for an example, we could have sex with a woman. We already know we're men. Like, we could, have sex with a girl. We don't really gotta like them. Yeah. Right.
You can hate the chick.
We could hate the chick and we can still smash, right? But we can. But for a woman, they actually have to, like, think about it. A woman don't even have sex with men that they like, right? Like, we went around a panel. He could be very charming and attractive, but if he says the wrong thing, like, no box for him. So off the bat, women have a more emotional investment.
100%.
Off the bat. So since they have that emotional investment off the bat, and then you got to think about it when me and you smash a girl and we have post nut clarity. They don't have post nut clarity. Nothing comes out. Like, yeah, they got a little juices, but it isn't like a nut. Like, we have life force leaving our body. After I nut, don't touch me. After you nut, baby, I want you. It's just different. Go ahead.
I have a question. Earlier you said, like, even though the girl lies how many body counts she has, like, you still, like, can know more than 10, less than 10.
Yeah.
How you know?
Oh, back to that.
How many tattoos is too many? I need to know that.
Well, that's a preference.
I just want to know your opinion.
I know guys that only date women who have tattoos.
I just want to know your opinion.
Well, that's a preference. Like, I wouldn't, like, I've dated chicks that had the arm tattoos and stuff, and based off experience, I could tell you that girls that have a whole lot of tattoos, they tend to be a little bit more promiscuous. And not only that, they tend to be a little bit more erratic, have erratic behavior, can't really control their emotions.
Signs of what's it called? Not bipolar, the other one. Borderline personality disorder.
Yeah, that one. So it's
wow.
Yeah.
So is 5 small tattoos too many? That's a direct question.
I don't think you should judge yourself based on that.
No.
Yeah,
I just want to know the mentality.
No, the mentality, like, it for me personally, I don't.
It depends on the guy.
Depends on the guy.
Yeah, truly, it depends on the guy.
Really depends on the guy.
Yeah.
You won't answer the body count question?
Wait, what body count?
You said high body count. What's high? You said 6 in relation to the research paper, but what is a high body count to you?
Oh, for a woman?
That's preference too.
So it depends on her age.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends.
Over 30.
Over 30?
Yeah, I just want to know what the body.
I mean, more than one, like one a year to. Because like there's still a very strong connection to my culture.
Well, right? Ask it this way. Well, let me ask it to you maybe in another way where you can answer it better, because it is hard for us to answer that. So, high body, like what's the body count would you take just to have sex with the woman, and what's the body count you'll take to actually wife a woman? Because they're like 2 different categories.
Still can't answer that. Depends on. It's like the kid situation.
Yeah.
I don't want to date I don't want a girl who has a kid.
Yeah.
But if I meet a girl who's really awesome,
and she has a kid.
You know? Yeah, if she has a kid, it's like I don't want a girl who has a kid.
Yeah, facts.
Don't. But if I meet someone who has a kid and she's really awesome, where it's like, oh damn, you know,
Yeah.
you like her. So if you meet someone, let's say your standard body count's like, I am not gonna wife any girl who has more than 5 or 10 guys in her past.
Yeah.
And you meet someone who has 12, and she's like the best partner you've ever met. Amazing, everything's perfect, looks, charm. Your mom loves her. Well, what are you gonna do? That's a tough one.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, life is not black and white. So that's why I don't answer these questions, because life is not black and white.
That's fair.
There is no number.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If she like the woman of your dreams, and she says,
See you on this.
I was an escort.
No, fuck no. Fuck no. Don't even come to my house.
Don't even come
You said the woman of your dreams, though.
No, she won't be the woman of my dreams. That's the thing.
Yeah,
There would be if I really liked a girl and I found out she was an escort,
yeah.
I think that would, the biggest problem is that, holy shit, I can't judge a person whatsoever. What is it about me that made me attracted to someone who wasn't like, how did I not pick that up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good self-reflection.
Yeah, that would be
answer
like,
that?
oh my, I'm the
Same
problem. Yeah. So, but hell, no way.
Some of the
And there is a limit. There is a limit too. Like I wouldn't date a girl who's been with like 20 guys. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
That's the limit. Okay.
No.
He answered it for you.
Not at 30 years old. 20,
I'm 34, but you know what? See, this is the thing, though. I think the problem with women today is that they don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept rejection, and that's what causes them to lie. I would gladly accept that rejection if I were ever to pursue you, right? Which I'm not. You know, you're taken, and I'm. You know, that's not what we're here for. But that's the thing. You have to
Maybe trying to
accept
shoot a shot.
rejection. No, I'm not. You have to accept
He's too young for her.
You have to accept rejection, because if you don't, you're going to be inclined to lie. You know what I mean?
100% true. Yeah.
You can't lie as a woman. If a man doesn't want you, take the L, move the fuck on. Don't sit here and try and mold yourself into what he wants, because it'll end, right? So I think transparency is everything.
Yeah. That's facts. So any other questions before we wrap it up?
We're good.
I think we nailed everything out the park. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gents. This podcast is No Fugazi. We out.